You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
Thank you, Lord, I thank you, thank you. Yes, I thank you, thank you. Lord, I thank you, Lord, I thank you. Yes, I thank you, thank you. Lord, I thank you, thank you. Yes, I thank you, thank you. Lord, I thank you, Lord, I thank you. For the strength that I feel when a new day is dawning. Lord, I thank you. For the breath that I breathe when I wake up in the morning. Lord, I thank you for the hope of life and the many, many blessings. Lord, I thank you for the wrongs you made right and for keeping me from stressing. Lord, I thank you. So I thank you, thank you. Lord, I thank you, thank you. Yes, I thank you, thank you. Lord, I thank you. Yes, I thank you. I thank you, thank you. Lord, I thank you, thank you. Yes, I thank you, thank you. Lord, I thank you, Lord, I thank you. When I don't understand the wind that is blowing, Lord, I thank you. And I can't see your hand, but I've got to keep trusting. Lord, I thank you. When the light goes dim with darkness encroaching, Lord, I thank you. When I'm out on a limb and you keep me from falling, Lord, I thank you. So I thank you, thank you. Lord, I thank you, thank you. Yes, I thank you, thank you. Lord, I thank you, Lord, I thank you. Say I thank you, thank you. Lord, I thank you, thank you. Yes, I thank you, thank you. Lord, I thank you, Lord, I thank you.
For your mercy and grace that is so amazing. Lord, I thank you. And the beautiful place that you guide my steps in. Yeah. What I'm trying to say in this song is that I'm grateful. Lord, I thank you. And there is nobody else in this world that is so faithful. Lord, I thank you. Yeah. Lord, I thank you. Yeah. Lord, I thank you. Yeah. And Lord, I thank you. Said I thank you. I thank you. Yeah. Lord, I thank you. Lord, I thank you. Yeah. Lord, I thank you. Said I thank you.
As long as I live, I will let the world know.
Lord, I thank you.
Sometimes I just get angry when I see somebody watch a next man achievement and declare that was easy. They don't see all the struggle and all the failure. They quickly form allegiance to toast the winner. But in this life there's a truth, and every tree you see have a root. And it's from way below the surface you bring up your food. Now Thomas Edison, the light bulb inventor, this 2,000 times he failed before the bulb could light. And when he reached age 67, a fire cost him 2 million. That's when the studio burned to the ground one December night. But he stood strong, faithful to his craft, and 3 weeks later released his first phonograph. You see, he had the stuff. Great men are made of. It's the stuff you could miss unless you look below the surface. I say he had the stuff. Great men are made of. It's the stuff you could miss unless you look below the surface. Okay, Shaki. They say that pressure, it does make diamonds out of rock. And it's the same with the human character. When our dreams are dumbstruck in a jail, two men looking out through the same bars. One will fail, cause he see mud while the other sees stars. You see, while pressure humbles the meek, it strengthens who earnestly seek. It's the barometer that measures the strong and the weak. Because Martin Luther and South Africa Nelson Mandela, the darkness in their jail cell couldn't dim their lights. And civil rights advocacies only fuel more energies. For the more injustice rages, the more they fight. And for 27 years, Nelson Mandela suffered. And from jail became president of South Africa. You see, Nelson had the stuff that great men are made of. It's the stuff you could miss unless you look below the surface. Potential, I say he had the stuff that great men are made of. It's the stuff you could miss unless you look below the surface.
This is Caribbean Vibes. This is Caribbean Vibes.
Check any success story, take anyone you wish, and you'll see the road is often littered with blocks and rubbish. But as you clear one hurdle, you will meet another. And as you lift one burden, you'll hit the next gutter. You see, while your progress is slow, your determination must grow. Just affirm and confess the success you already know. Don't you know Elvis Presley was fired by Jimmy Denny? After just one show, he was told, go back and drive truck. And the great Beethoven of music, imagine he was deaf at 46. But that's when he produced his greatest musical stuff. And the great Caruso stood firm by his choice. Although his teacher told him you can't sing and you have no voice. But he had the stuff great men are made of. It's the stuff you could miss unless you look below the surface. Oh, he had the stuff great men are made of. It's the stuff you could miss unless you look below the surface. Yeah, Shaki. As a nation, we will do well to train our young, not to adopt a luck and chance approach, or a gaming disposition. For they will dream of easy money and sweet tomorrow. From a get-rich scheme with a 1 in 100,000 ratio. We need to teach foundations of truth, trees that send down good roots, not parasites that sucks at little gut fruits. Don't you know, Basdale Pandey walk so many miles barefoot to school, land in England with $6 to take his luck horse. And after Napoleon Airman Robinson, imagine he was shot and in prison, half blind and dying. He said attack, attack, attack with full force. For such men with belly, leadership was meant. No wonder they're prime minister and president. You see, they had the stuff. Great men are made of. It's the stuff you could miss unless you look below the surface. I say they had the stuff. Great men are made of. It's the stuff you could miss unless you look below the surface.
This thing called TNM, this thing called UNC, is one set of dotishness to Mama Kai, you and me. It ain't have no color, it ain't have no race, it ain't have no principles or any values in place. And it was never meant to be the answer for unity. It shares no philosophy with any consistency. For when you watch the pedigree in each and every party, the difference you see turns out to be a case of power and money. Look here, them French Creoles in Saint-As, Maraval and Saint-Clair, they don't hold no allegiance or no party here. Rich men must be supporting who they feel going to win. Loyalty, friends, means nothing. Money is their thing. That's why PNM quite on turned court to UNC. And when Del Motley, his background showed he was with DAC. Hector Macklin, the speaker, swore PNM till he dead. And when the last election over, he was UNC instead. Augustus Ramreka Singh, I knew him in Tapia. Next thing I know, he was a PNM minister. John Humphrey changed from Trinity, and he joined about 5 parties. So he's only die-hard you and grassroots me. It's PNM and UNC. I lie. Oh, yeah, lie. This thing called PNM, this thing called UNC, is only a power play to get our sympathy. It's not about African, it's neither East Indian. It have nothing to do with anybody's religion. Kamaluddin is a Muslim, Mahathir a Christian to the brim. Yet Montano the mulatto, different race, same party, you know. Johnny Milkins and Rex Awan are 2 Chinese politicians. And while both of them love PNM, Brian Whiteton had a problem. Them French Creoles in Saint-As, Maraval and Saint-Clair, tell them Families are voting who they feel going to win. Loyalty, friends, means nothing. Money is their thing. The name Steve Ferguson, Israeli and East Indian, who with Ishak Galbaran sing, both parties they financing. Joey Saw and M. Elias, a PNM Lebanese, and yet Saka of the same cast helps UNC pay their fees. Syrian businessman John Rahael, PNM make him mayor. An African Wade Mark as well, UNC made him minister. PNM's fundraising dinner had businessmen of all color. So it's only Chupidi, you and me. It's PNM and UNC. Alive.
Get up one morning, your elders have something. You don't know how they get it, but you want to use it. But if you ask them old people to get the things what they went through, ask them this any day, and your parents sure to say, black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. Make up your mind, brother, that you're able to get a pulley and jam with the devil. Why? Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. Make up your mind, brother, that you're ready to swim offshore and hold your boat steady. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. So when you hear you get a little something with that dragon, now you keep watching, because I don't tell you already. Black man don't get nothing easy. You get up one morning, and oil money running. How it come you don't know, so that it care how the thing go. But if they read about Uriah, they wanna find out the pressure. How we get so much old hell to get a penny from TLL. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. You got to take up your own cash money, pay people for your own refinery. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. Make up your mind to be a magician, to make money out of scrap iron. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. So when you hear you get a little something, with that eagle eye you keep watching, because I don't tell you already. Black man don't get nothing easy. I say we get up one morning, independence happening. They think the thing come easy, now they're taking liberty. But if they know about petition, we have to send to England for some woman to tell we in this colony free. Black man have to keep on jabbing, for black man to get a little something. You got to go to conference in England to get independence in your own land. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. People hold you, humiliate you, turn on and sell you, and then they free you. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. So when you hear you get a little something with that dragon, now you keep watching, because I don't tell you already. Black man don't get nothing easy. So when a black man gets something, he got to start thinking. To get it there easy, he got to practice economy. From getting licked from the slave master to become the land owner, brother, is a terrible journey. Back with plenty brutality. Black man now to keep on jamming. For black man to get a little something, you got to rise up, you got to stand up. Pick up your mind, you will always stay on top. Black man now to keep on jamming. For black man to get a little something, you got to go to conference in England to get independence in your own land. Black man now to keep on jamming. For black man to get a little something, you got to take up your own cash money, pay people for your own refinery. Black man now to keep on jamming. For black man to get a little something, make up your mind to be a magician, to make money out of scrap iron. Black man.
Keep me as the apple of thine eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wing. O Lord, my Savior. It's so hard to deal with personal struggle. It's so sad when you feel alone in your trouble. It's real hard when you want to talk to a brother. It's so bad because of how some look at you after. So Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. Cover my head. Satan want me dead. Cover my back from human attack. So Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. People see you smile, but don't know the hurt that you're feeling. Even as God's child, at times your heart does be bleeding. Where can you go when you're really looking for healing? Who know how to flow when your soul needs some restoring? Lord Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. Cover me home from evils unknown. Cover my feet so I'll never retreat. Oh Lord, come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. Cover my brother, cover my sister, them who under pressure. Cover the preacher, every church worker, the young believer. Cover the worship leader and intercessor, every gospel minister. Cover. Jesus alone is the one who have the real answer. The one on the throne is the true and loving Father. He will hold your hand and keep you from going under. He will make you stand and let you know he's a fixer. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. Cover my mind. You know the struggle sometimes. Cover my mouth, that the wrong thing wouldn't come out. Oh Lord, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover the Christian in the midst of aggression with the power of your right hand. Jesus, cover them helpless children. Jesus, defend them. Send help from heaven. Jesus, cover all them radio stations that blessing the nation. Grant divine protection. Jesus, cover
Truer words were never spoken. The less you associate with some people, the more your life will improve. Anytime you tolerate mediocrity in others, it increases your mediocrity. An important attribute in successful people is their impatience with negative thinking and negative acting people. As you grow, your associates will change. Some of your friends will not want you to go on. They will want you to stay where they are. Friends that don't help you climb will want you to crawl. Your friends will stretch your vision or choke your dream. Those that don't increase you will eventually decrease you. Consider this. Never receive counsel from unproductive people. Never discuss your problems with someone incapable of contributing to the solution, because those who never succeed themselves are always first to tell you how. Not everyone has a right to speak into your life. You are certain to get the worst of the bargain when you exchange ideas with the wrong person. Don't follow anyone who's not going anywhere. With some people you spend an evening. With others, you invest it. Be careful where you stop to inquire for directions along the road of life. Wise is the person who fortifies his life with the right friendships. If you run with wolves, you will learn how to howl. But if you associate with eagles, you will learn how to soar to great heights. A mirror reflects a man's face, but what he is really like is shown by the kind of friends he chooses. The simple but true fact of life is that you become like those with whom you closely associate, for the good and the bad. Note, be not mistaken. This is applicable to family as well as friends. Yes, do love, appreciate, and be thankful for your family, for they will always be your family, no matter what. Just know that they are human first, and though they are family to you, they may be a friend to someone else and will fit somewhere in the criteria above. In prosperity, our friends know us. In adversity, we know our friends. Never make someone a priority when you are only an option for them. If you are going to achieve excellence in big things, you develop the habit in little matters. Excellence is not an exception. It is a prevailing attitude.
Yes, 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 yes. Let me say a special hello to all the WZYE 95.9 FM listeners. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, it's in the village with the DAT Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. And of course, we come to you every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. That's Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, you're in the village, we originate, we don't imitate. You know, we welcome each and every one. Doesn't matter what color t-shirt you have on. You have on a burgundy t-shirt, you have on a maroon t-shirt, you have on a salmon t-shirt. Doesn't matter what t-shirt you wear, you're welcome in the village with the DAT Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. Doesn't matter what planet you're from Mazatanians, Venuranians, Xenoranians, Sonaranians. Each and every one is welcome in the village with the DAT Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. And if you are joining us for the first time, the DAT in the DAT Triplets, that's DAT, that's Diana the Storm, Anselm, yours truly, Wall Street, and Tommy, the commissioner in Newark. Let me say a special welcome to no other than Thomas E. Marshall, the commissioner from Celibia. Some people say Salibe. Went to school with a letter that begins with a P. I don't know if it's Palaseco or Pinal or Piaco, but he's going to tell us which one of the P's it is. Marshall Thomas E., the commissioner in Newark, Nesbitt boy. Tommy, welcome.
Good evening, family. I missed you on Tuesday, but thank God I'm here, and I'm asking the good Lord to keep covering me while I fix it.
Go full 100. You know that's the anthem song here in the village, man. We want the good Lord to cover every one of the people that join us here in the village with the DAT Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. And what needs to fix? The good Lord will fix it.
He will
That's
fix
what we have to say.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Let me say welcome to the next 1/3 of the DAT Triplets. No other than Diana, Waveney, Stormy, the Storm, Greta, McDonald, from the school that begins with a girls' school close to Tunapuna. On your way to Champlain from Barbados. I think the tongue is close to Nelson Street. I think it is, but she will tell us. No other
it's
than
not.
Diana, Waveney,
No,
Stormy, the Storm, McDonald, boy.
no, it's not close to Nelson Street. It's way up in the country. Good evening, everybody. Hi, Tommy. How you doing?
Good,
I want
thank
to
you.
start today by saying the building could tear down and Slim supporting still. He's supporting still. All right,
What
all you
building is
know
that?
is I'm saying, right?
Yeah, which building is that? What building you
I had,
talking about?
I had to hit you below the belt. The building could tear down and Slim supporting still. He's supporting still.
Which building? You tell the people what building you're talking about now.
We're
People in
talking about that building on Duncan Street and through my lab until that you cried for years. The building could tear down and Slim supporting still. Supporting still. And I want to address the merchants of Venice in Port of Spain. Merchants of Venice. Whoever did Shakespeare, you will know what the Merchant of Venice did. The Merchant of Venice took a pound of flesh from an emaciated man close to his heart because he fell behind on his loan. I was going on in Port of Spain. But good evening, everybody. And I will only pray
And
that
7
Jehovah
pounds.
cover my mouth.
Oh, all right. You cover your while you fix it too.
Mm-mm. Just cover my mouth so the
Okay.
wrong thing don't come out.
Okay. All right. No problem at all. I mean,
Yeah, 'cause when you know men are taught to set the tone for the program. Men are taught to hold their emotion. Don't cry. Don't hush your mouth now. You know, and to see this grown man cry and talk about all the things we've been talking about on the show, and people want to, lambaste us. Oh no, things rosy and good in Trinidad. Things fine. Ain't all the poor people. Nobody catching the nenen. The women safe. Everything copacetic in Trinidad and Tobago. Look, you have a man come out and telling you this story. But go ahead. I want to go and do your things in the
Unfortunately, all over the world look like men crying at this time.
sad. But
not just Trinidad man crying.
in different areas of the world, in different areas of the world, you have support systems in place where the person can go to for help. Would they have in Trinidad, like the guys, would they have in Trinidad and Tobago? What? What? Who helping him? What?
Spark punching.
Yeah,
Yeah, catch that one. It went over.
Hey, watch yourself, watch yourself, Let me send something your way. But I didn't say, you forget the Bajan in school who beat up fellas for she marble. I did not beat anybody for marbles highly. Take the wax out your ears. Take the pep wax out your ears. I beat up fellas for trying to lift my skirt up. Let me repeat it. He tried to lift up my skirt and pull my underwear down, and I beat him. Good. All right.
So you had to take off your underwear to beat him? You beat him with your
No,
underwear?
I didn't take off. He tried to lift my skirt and grab my underwear. I had a knickers on. And I beat his still. He had no right putting his hands on me like that.
Okay, I get it.
All right. Okay. All right. Yeah. I need watch yourself. My name get a virtual cut skin.
Virtual.
Yeah, a virtual flogging, boy. You might have to go and talk to Mrs. Kamla Prasad Sessa, boy. She bring back corporal punishment in school highly.
That's right. What you grabbing the girl's skirt for? Your hands are supposed to be on no young lady like that. No, sorry.
Looking for whoop.
Yeah. Well, I whooped him well.
Yeah, we even starting the chat yet, but I'm highly getting a virtual
Rennie, he like that kind of licks. Yeah.
We even started the chat yet. But anyway, since you started it,
And Slim, your building gone. Building gone now. Yeah, them ain't getting that building to do nothing for youths all have until. Gone. See it and Slim? Gone.
continue. They don't ready to solve no crime. You understand? Crime is a big business, you know.
Of course.
A big business, you know. People
Major business all over the world.
living large, you know, in Trinidad and Tobago, you know. They're living
What's that?
high, boy.
What's
High.
that?
Crime. They want to solve crime.
Those who profiteer of a crime.
Profiteer and crime are big profit in it. Well, people. Yeah. Yeah, boy. But anyway, I ask the Lord to cover everybody while they fix it, yeah?
Yeah, because I answer, I don't know, you know, it's every day, and it seems to be, I mean, yeah, we thing going on here too, eh? But Trinidad is too small. You know, back in the day, like I always say, anything happen out of the ordinary, we would be like, what? That was news. Now you're like, oh no, again. You know what I mean?
But Diana, think about this, right? You is the leader of the National Security Council, right?
Who?
No. Hear me out. Hear me out. I'm just saying it. I'll get to where I want to go at the end. You are the leader of the National Security Council in Trinidad and Tobago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Trinidad and Tobago Police Service go to Barbados, kidnap a Trinidadian, bring him back to Trinidad, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you is the leader and you don't know?
Mm-hmm.
You don't know?
That's a 007 move, what I'm telling you.
And no, Tommy, before we go to the chat, Tommy and Diana, what did I miss? Seriously, if you are the, so that means to say that things happening
That they don't know about.
Less about what's happening in the country.
Yep. Venezuelans coming in, all kind of people coming, gun coming in, all kind of thing coming in, drugs coming in, and they don't know. You have 007 and Gorky Park. Gorky Park is a novel, a Russian novel about. Ooh,
right, that's why you get banished to Gorky. I said in Russia you get banished to Gorky.
You understand? So 007 Gorky Park thing going on down there, man.
So wait now, Tommy. Diana, Tommy.
Yes.
So I hear you say nothing. It seems like you want to say that the man can't know everything.
No. You're trying to get into my head, so I'll let you go.
All right, go ahead, Tommy. Go ahead.
No. It's either or. Either he knows and he's covering up, or he doesn't know at all. But I truly believe it's the first scenario. This is you want to hear my opinion?
Yeah. We listening. Go ahead.
I'll share my opinion. Because I'm sure the big dog, if you want to call it that, knows what's going on in the canal.
And there's a lot of hush money passing, you know, and don't say that is the corruption we're talking about here now. You see?
Well, let's take it even further. You mean the Minister of National Security don't know either?
He said, hey, didn't he say it's not his job to keep the country safe?
But
so
then we have
it ain't your job. You ain't concern yourself with what's going on, so you don't know.
But then we have a lot of clueless people in high office in Trinidad and Tobago.
You don't know.
Either they know, and they're just keeping their mouths shut.
They're taking people for fools then, because people will believe whatever they tell them.
That too.
But oh God, answer them. They tear down your building, boy. I mean,
Oh God.
and somebody tell me they lick down. I go in Trini style now, eh? I know my English, eh? They lick down the places where they put the people out and which street in the which all help me in a park. What's the street the other day? That Duke barricade himself in.
Nelson Street or
No.
What's it called? Huh?
Duncan Street?
Remember, yeah, you all know it better
Independence
than
Square?
me. Yeah, wherever though, yeah. This I hear they lick them down too.
Yeah, that was the plan.
That was the
I
plan.
I hear that it alleged that that's the overall plan. All them low income houses, lick them down, move them, get out of there, and pass it on, re-gentrify the area, right, Tommy?
Gentrification.
You know what's sad?
Gentrification is the plan. That's
Yeah.
that's a
Tommy, you know
worldwide
what's
plan.
sad, boy? And Diana,
Yeah.
you know what's sad, boy? This is so sad, boy. The People's National Movement considered to be a black party, right? A party that's let me repeat it. Let me repeat that. It's supported mainly by black people in Trinidad and Tobago.
Well,
right?
I want to think 95% of the people are black people. Eh?
All right.
You mean
all right.
predominantly people of Afro?
Right. People of Afro descent or people of color, right?
They all are colorful.
Thank you. Because the Prime Minister in England, he's referred to as a man of color. But right.
Correct.
Be very careful.
Why is that debate for another time?
No, but the truth be told, in America, what are they?
Tommy, that is a debate because Tommy, you know, some people consider themselves to be certain things in Trinidad, and when they come to America, they consider them to be something else.
They can fill out the census a different way.
But the truth be told, it could be just ignorance.
No, it's not. No, Tommy. You told me you're being very generous tonight. Like you drink some generosity passion fruit.
No.
You're being very generous. All we could do is go to the census report in this country, and it will tell you basically the difference of how they think of themselves in Trinidad and Tobago, and when they come to the United States of America, based on the census, how they classify themselves. All right, and that is facts, right? That ain't no trying to create any sort of division or anything like that. It's just facts. But anyway, let me go to the chat. Of course, always first in is Nadia. Nadia, welcome. Good night, everyone.
Good night, Nadia.
Nadia says good night, Ansam. I get red, blue emojis. Yeah. Tommy, good night. Tommy get yellow, blue, green, purple.
Oh, I had a weird thing, boy. Cool. Mr. Winter, come back for? What are you come back in here for?
Diana Betskin, good night. Yeah. Nadia says, Nadia does send everybody wishes. If it's one thing, to Keisha.
Oh,
Judy,
that's my favorite color.
Yeah.
Nadia's a sweetheart. She's
a Nadia says Albert, Rennie, Vonnie. I see Vonnie in a little bit. I gotta give Vonnie a call, yes. Ken Heidi, Pizza, Troy Smith, Ellis Laborde. Yeah.
Vonnie on a honeymoon. You don't want to be disturbed.
No.
Oh yeah.
Vonnie's one of we loyalists. No doubt.
Yeah, on a honeymoon. You don't want to be disturbed.
I know, but he was on the chat from our cruise. He wasn't on our cruise or something.
He on the love boat. What are you calling the man for?
Oh, okay. Man on the love boat, but Takesha says, Anselm, good night. Tommy, good night. Good night to you, Takesha. Takesha says, Nadia, Carice, Lana, Judy, Rose, Miss Coover, Erica, John. I see Erica too, you know. How to get Erica a call too? Erica, John. I see Erica. Albert, Ulrich, Ken, Hailey, Capiza, Ellis, Troy, Vonnie, Rajvi, Rennie. Right? Yeah, correct is right.
Is your village sweetheart too?
There's only love in the village, man. No room for hate or negativity. Just love. Yeah. And of course, Judy was in turn. Them woman of them licking down them fellas and them too bad. But good evening, Ansem, Diana, Mr. Diplomat, Tommy, inside the village family. Yeah.
Good evening, village sweetheart Judy.
Yeah, Judy inside. Blessed love to the village families. Good night to ladies and gents. Yeah, you see how Judy cover all the bases, boy. Yeah. Hello to my darling Nadia, to Keisha, Clement. Celebrate a happy life, ladies. Correct is right. Hey, look, partner Daryl Superstar come in, boy. Daryl, welcome, boy. Hello and good night to everyone.
Pleasant night
Yeah?
to you, sir.
What, boy? Look, Denise G in early tonight, boy. Early, boy.
Good night, Denise G.
Yeah. Look who come in early, too. What I watch on the screen. Look who come in.
Capitan.
Dial in the house early.
Yeah.
Capitan.
Look, Captain in the house.
I'm calling who
But wait
dead?
now.
Who called him out?
Wait
Why you
now.
calling out somebody dead?
No, but look, Captain and put PNM in the first sentence, you know.
Hey,
No
hey,
second
give
sentence.
a round of applause for that.
Yeah, let me give my round of applause for that. I'll give my
He says, son, hot here.
Eh?
He says, son, hot here.
Where he is?
Wherever.
Where you only 20, you have 52 acres in Georgia, you know. Is it
Well,
Georgia?
In South Korea.
I must say, I rather the consistent captain. I want a consistent captain. I don't want captain deviate from his normal personality. Every sentence you had to put in the first sentence, you had to put PNM in it.
Why? He confuses you?
No. I want him to be consistent because if he doesn't, then he's being inconsistent. Hey, boy, look,
I have to
Eugene.
keep my throat. It's cold in my neck of the woods. Cold.
Look, Eugene Julian in, boy. Eugene,
good
welcome.
evening, Mean Gene.
Yeah, boy, me and Gene coming early tonight, boy. Things change in the household, boy. You know what I mean? Because, you know, sometimes he just come in and he don't come back till about 9:55, you know.
Yeah, because your wife takes away the laptop, I tell you.
Diana, there's a question for you, Diana.
Is he
I
laptop or his phone?
I gotta just winter come back on me and they took off the air condition covers, you know.
Yeah,
We
cover
could
us
keep the
all,
heat in. It's cold.
cover us all, Jesus, while you fix it.
It's cold.
Look, I know what you just say Ben Skin, I know what I mean. He says, Anselm, you forget the Bajan in school who beat up for, oh God, for she
Oh.
marbles. Oh, all right. All
And
right,
I
love
ex-
doctor.
and I corrected him. It wasn't for marbles, remember?
Okay. Love doctor, you're inside boy. Dr. Love inside boy. Oh God, look. You know, boy, I did not train this fellow well, you know.
Oh,
He
yeah.
said, sending out virtuous, tremendous, stupendous joy to the ladies, boy. Man.
Go with yourself. Go with
Yeah,
your
Diana, congratulations. I ain't care what you say. Respect to the panel, Mr. Wars. They call you Lady Diana, boy, and Mr. Tommy. Yeah.
Man, you ain't even put up my thing that I could get some more votes.
Oh,
Look
yeah.
at you.
Yeah.
When you pop Kamala, and I said, wait now.
No. You know what? I was supposed to do it right away when I was in class, and that's my fault. But I definitely had to do it, and I go straight in all the other Facebook pages.
Yeah, and we want them to start taking chances for the Tesla immediately.
Yeah. We had to do that too as well. You know, I mean, I have to just make it go live now.
Yeah, that's a world-class car, man.
Yeah.
With electric. And if you were to get in as a Trinidadian, I don't think there's duties importing an electric car.
Yeah, that's true, you know, Tommy. You're correct.
There's concessions in place for that.
Yeah. To keep us say more corn sharing than jobs, boy. At least is working out and things. Stay strong, healthy, check. At least is now I believe everyone knows what's going on.
Marvin knew what was going on too.
Yeah, supporters are black. And I dare Rennie, what is he seeing? What? Wait, Denise, what is BIPOC? BIPOC? What's that? What is that, Denise? BIPOC?
It's an acronym. Huh?
We have to decode it. We have to decode it.
Yeah, we have to decode it. All right, Denise. Let me try and decode it while, you know, because, I mean, let me see what it is. All right, hold on. Black indigenous people of color. Okay.
Yay!
Yeah, Denise. The term is often used in the United States and Canada to refer to people who are from racially or ethnically marginalized group as a way to center the experiences of their communities in discussions about social justice and equality. The term recognizes that different communities of color may face different forms of systematic discrimination and oppression and seek to build solidarity across those groups and fight for justice and equity. All right. All right. So we learning
Hey, Denise is
black.
a good Denise is a good teacher.
Yeah, black. She's a teacher, you know.
Yay!
That's why she's
Black
so
indigenous and
so on
people of
point all
color.
the time.
All right, Denise. All right, all right. Denise. Yeah, Denise. We learning. That's what we about here in the village, you know. We want when you finish at least these 3 hours, you get some brain
But
food.
look, Hailey say he don't use black to represent himself. There's
What
some
does he
people
use?
like that. Hailey,
What does he use?
how do you represent yourself when it comes to that
He says
issue?
he call us a cultured people. That's what he says.
All right?
I like to call us a cultured people.
Mm.
Yeah. When he says PNM is seen as an Afro party, UNC is seen as an Indian party. Is this deliberate on their part? You know, that's a good question.
What chocolate says is on point also.
What's that?
It's a bunch of dotishness.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
separate you and we, to separate we, yeah. No, I agree. So PNM is seen as an Afro party and USC seen as an Indian party. You know, and it's funny, yeah? Most people in the PNM will say no, and most people in the UNC will say no. That's not what it is. But if you look at the statistics, as a matter of fact, hold on, eh? I think I have some statistics here. Hold on, let me see. Okay, here we go. Let me see if this is the statistics I have here. Okay, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. So in Trinidad and Tobago, in the 2020 election, 61% of Afro Trinidadian voted for the PNM, and 7% of Indo Trinidadian voted for the
PNM.
PNM. Oh, wait now. That statistic don't make sense. 44% other or mix voted for the PNM. That's more than 100.
Hmm.
How that making any sense?
Hmm.
I don't know. Then I can't make dollars.
Oh, Tommy got lyrics, boy.
I ain't get that one. Hold on, let me do a quick math there earlier. I ain't get that one.
But I had brought up that statistic and he didn't get it either. Look at, and I said maybe individual. I don't know. They're taking it out of an individual and not a whole. I don't know. Like
I don't know.
put 100 on 100.
According to Bush, that's called fuzzy math.
Yeah.
The Maxim.
Matson. 54 plus 18 plus. Oh. What? I don't get that. 5 equal 70. Anyway, whoever do this, all right. So it's missing some number somewhere. But anyway, the UNC now, 54.7% of Indo Trinidadian voted for the UNC, 5.7% Afro Trinidadian, and 18.9% of other or mix voted for the UNC. You see, I think what they're doing, right? They're taking the numbers down for each person that voted.
That's why I remember I told you one, yeah.
Yeah, they're not going across as far as 100%. They're going down and saying, all right, this is the total amount of voters. And these people vote for the PNM, these people vote for COP, others, and so on and so on. Right? So that's how they get the thing. So look at it. So I mean, when you look at what Rennie says, it's true. Right?
Yep.
It's true. So Rennie, there's facts to back up exactly what you are saying. All right, let me see what Rennie said again. Hold on. Rennie said, all right, that is after Denise. Yes, here it is. PNM is seen as an Afro party. UNC is seen as an Indian party. Is this deliberate on their part? Is that deliberate, boy?
On the part of the leaders.
Part of who? On the part of the people?
No, on the part of those who are running for, looking for a position of power.
Well, if that's where you had to get your votes, yeah. At least there's people who cook their food. People who cook their food with a taste is considered to be cultural people. So
Italians are cultured people.
I don't know why. At least say Rennie Peppers are everybody party, so don't dig no harass.
But I find, you see this Indo and Afro, you should be voting. It should be Trinbagonian. That's it. This Indo and Afro thing is everybody that's Trinbagonian.
No, but
those who seeking power make sure they polarize the entire set.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. And we're gonna get into it as we go along a little later. Now, the pundit has doubled down on his statement now.
Oh boy, what do you say now?
He says he just pointing out the facts. And the TTPS tell you there's no facts to back up your statement, but he doubled down on it. Right? But we're going to take that when we come back from the break. He doubled down on it. Nadia says, Rennie Mohammed, that's so true, and that's bad business. And that is absolutely correct. Yeah? Rennie said you don't know much about Pep. No, it's Philip will fix it. That is Eiley Party. All these ministries need to clean up too much racket and corruption. Takesha says.
Well, Trinidad want a good cleaning.
Yeah? Rennie, you're missing out, bro. Pep is the best choice for the country.
Corruption in every angle.
Eiley, I like how you have to defend your party by any means necessary, Eileen see the manifesto yet, but he's still voting for them. You understand? He didn't even know what they're coming out with, but he's voting for them regardless. Yeah? All right, Denise says black indigenous people of color. Eileen say I don't use black to represent myself at all.
I asked him what does he use?
What does he use?
He just use black. He don't use black. I don't see what he ain't put nothing. There's some people prefer African. There's some people who still prefer Negro, because if you can use Caucasian to identify white race, Negroid race is Negro. You're Negroid. So I don't know. So I'm not an expert.
So let me read this and then we're gonna go for a station identification. Denise says SUNY's having a session on DEI. Right? That's diversity, equity, and inclusion. What about the B, Denise?
What campus? Ask her what campus.
On
What
June
campus?
26th at TGE Global Center. The CEO of TIAA, Tasunda Brown Duckett, will be there. That is welcome.
What location? What campus location?
SUNY has many.
Yeah. So let's go for a quick station identification. It's in the village with the DAT Triplets on WZYE 95.9 for seconds. We'll be right back after.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
This thing called PNM, this thing called UNC, is one set of dotishness to Mama Kai, you and me. It ain't have no color. It ain't have no race. It ain't have no principles or any values in place. And it was never meant to be the answer for unity. It shares no philosophy with any consistency. For when you watch the pedigree in each and every party, the difference you see turns out to be a case of power and money. Look here, them French Creoles in Saint-As, Maraval and Saint Clair, they don't hold no allegiance or no party here. Rich men must be supporting who they feel going to win. Loyalty, friends, means nothing. Money is their thing. That's why PNM quite on turned court to UNC. And when Del Motley, his background showed he was with DAC. Hector Motley, the speaker, swore PNM till he dead. And when the last election over, he was UNC instead. Augustus Ramreka Singh, I knew him in Tapia. Next thing I know, he was a PNM minister. John Humphrey changed from Trinity and he joined about 5 parties. So he's only die-hard new and grassroots me. It's PNM and UNC.
We're back to you. It's In the Village with the DAT Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. We come to you every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. That's Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. Now let's listen to the pundit.
According to Pundit Maharaj, no one wants to face the reality. He tells TV6 that people are criticizing him because of his statements, but he was only sharing what he sees happening in his community.
While they try to pigeonhole me in as a racist, making, of course, a racist statement, I don't see the same outrage for crime. It is as though crime is acceptable. We just need to admit that Indians are not attacked. Even if it is that Indians are being attacked, we have to be afraid to say these things in this country. And, you know, it is almost, we need to be more politically correct than honest.
He remains adamant that he said nothing wrong.
My claim was that the media, the perpetrators of the crime are the urban youth, miscreant, east-west corridor. Those are the people who occupy this particular space, have been the ones who have been targeting us in our ranglers, and that is not an incorrect statement.
Pundit Maharaj further notes the responses from the political arena.
Everyone is coming out. I see the UNC and the PNM have actually joined for the first time. They agree on something. If they don't even agree on how to stop crime in this country, and they don't even agree on the legislation to stop crime so that all of us can be safe, I see they agree that it's okay to call me a racist.
He says if the problem is not addressed at the root cause, the relentless crime will continue. The Sanatan Dharma Mahasabha has distanced itself from his statement, while Attorney at Law Senior Counsel Israel Khan has said that race has nothing to do with home invasions, but evidence has shown East Indians to be the victims and Africans the perpetrators. Nicole M. Romani, TV6 News.
I want to play something else for you guys. Listen to the other end of the spectrum too as well. Eh? So we listen to that side. Let's listen to another side of the spectrum, because, you know, sometimes we got to get both sides. Yeah, you got to get a balance view. Okay, now here is Dr. David Muhammad. You know, because I think what it is that it's unfortunate that the pundit have an opportunity, right, to put some statistics on the table, some facts, and maybe he went to the TTPS and they tell him, boy, unless we manufacture some facts, we really have no facts. We can't give you no facts. You know, so, you know, you have to stand. I guess you have to stand this ground. Let me put it that way.
No, but email replace fax, you know. No more faxing.
Probably a joke today.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good one. Right? Email replacing facts. Just like how they email. So let's take a listen. Let's take a listen.
East Indians in Aranguez being targeted by criminals who were not East Indians, but the urban youth along the east-west corridor. That controversial statement by Pundit Sachin and Maharaj has rubbed some people the wrong way, including sociologist Dr. David Muhammad.
And I guess that he would have realized that he would have gotten deep appreciation from his community for making those statements, that he's now doubled down, refused to apologize, and reinforced his position. Now, we want to examine this, because firstly, this is a false narrative.
Dr. Muhammad states that over the past few decades, thousands of Afro-Trinbagonians have been murdered.
But last week, or week before, 3 or 4 East Indian persons are killed in one, and then there's this whole campaign of concern that Indians are being targeted. Wait a minute! You mean 6,000 or 7,000 of my kind are killed in cold blood? No one says that we're being targeted, in spite of the fact that it was thousands of us who are now dead. 6 or 7 of another ethnic group are murdered, and then we come out and say, oh, look, they're targeting the Indians. Jeez, Lord have mercy. Is that how meaningless and worthless and valueless black life is?
He says people who commit crimes of greater impact and even the masterminds behind many crimes are not people of African descent.
And if in particular you take the top 5 or the top 10 biggest criminals in the history of Trinidad and Tobago, chances are none of them are African. Chances are not one of them are black males.
He cites names like the serial killer Boise Singh and drug kingpin Sharad Khan alias Teddy Mice, Rafiq Mohammed, Naim Naya, and Nankisun Budram alias Dole Shady. He says based on research by the University of the West Indies, there are no top-level drug lords in TNT of African descent. However, according to the sociologist, big criminals have in times past and are presently employing people of African descent to do their bidding.
So it is the black face that is the visible representation of what crime is, but the non-African, who is the controller, the boss, the perpetrator, the one who imports all the guns, who imports all the drugs, who has friends in high places and pays off judges and magistrates, and is part of a corrupt syndicate, network, and cartel. The non-black faces are the ones that you never see.
Dr. Muhammad says that same circle is also responsible for the blame being placed on the black youth, and attempts are being made to get rid of them.
And when the police engage in extrajudicial killings and kill a black youth, whether he's innocent or guilty, you see the barrage of responses on social media congratulating the police.
Dr. Muhammad questions if the same strokes being applied to black youth should also be applied to those at the upper levels of crime. Alicia Boucher, TV6 News.
Yep, there we have it.
You see, if it's one thing, I have to tell you, we here in the village, we are not like those other radio stations wouldn't play Dr. Muhammad because he might have said something against the PNM or he might have said something for the UNC. You know, we're not in that. We're not in that. We try to give you both sides of the political spectrum, right? And the pundit have no facts, zero, right, with respect to his statement. So, you know, you get opportunity, you know, listen, we all make mistakes in life. None of us are perfect, none.
Nope.
You know, when you make a mistake, you realize you make a mistake, you apologize, right? Now listen, a legitimate apology, you know, you apologize and you keep it moving.
That's right.
The man double down, boy. He double down, boy. So listen, if it's the first time the PNM and the UNC get together, you know you're wrong, right? Think about it. If the PNM and UNC get together, right?
You're damn wrong.
You're damn wrong. Correct is right, Tommy. You're not just wrong, you know. You're damn wrong. You know, but I guess the man had to dig in, you know. I mean, you can't be upset with him, you know. He had to do what he had to do. You know, man? He dig in. He dig in. You know, and sometimes, okay, Denise says Hailey says I use Nubians or cultured people. So Hailey, what is cultured people? Let me see. What is culture?
Don't all people have cultures? Doesn't all people have their culture?
I don't know. What is culture? Let me find out what it is. Because I don't know. I know if I really making up them thing. No, I know it's a word. Okay, the term culture is subjective and can mean different things to different people. Hailey boy?
See what I'm telling you? There's some
come again, Hailey.
Hailey boy. Oh God, Hailey boy. Oh God, this is the 10% Hailey. Don't be upset with him. This is the 10% Hailey. You know, but it generally refers to individuals who have an appreciation and knowledge of the arts, humanities, and other aspects of human culture. They can include familiarity with literature, music, theater, visual arts, history, philosophy, and other intellectual pursuits. Cultural people often value education, critical thinking, and intellectual curiosity, and may seek out experiences that broaden their understanding of the world and different cultures. However, it is important to know that cultural knowledge and appreciation can come from many different sources and life experiences, and there is no one-size-fits-all definition of what it means to be a cultured person. So, interesting. So, Hailey boy, I don't know, boy.
So, what you consider yourself, Tommy?
What I consider myself? Human.
Amen. Amen.
And you?
Human. Amen.
Denise says the SUNY Global Center 55th and Park. Denise, do you have no virtual thing?
Just, Judy, you know how far I have to come from to go there? And in that New York traffic, and depend on the time of the day it is, the 23rd of June. Let me see what day of the week that is. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Trinidad Marco, welcome. Let me see.
23rd of June. Oh Lord, a Friday.
At least the voters are more PNM and UNC than the politicians.
Sure. You know, observing, right, as a non-supporter, nobody in Trinidad and Tobago, I find it so, I find it almost humorous that, people will actually sit down and say, I's UNC, I's PNM. I thought you were Trinbagonian first.
No, but I think
I don't get it, Anselm. I don't get it.
I don't think that's any different from saying he's a Democrat or a Republican.
And I'm neither. I don't get it.
No, but I mean, I think that's kind of understood that people.
But no, Anselm. If I am a registered voter. Let me put it that way. And if Joe Biden do mess, me voted for he. If they put, what's his name, Mitt Romney. If Mitt Romney go up in there and Mitt Romney give I like Mitt Romney. I would vote for Mitt Romney. He's a Republican.
I'm registered as an independent.
I'm
registered as an independent.
I'm not. I know. Nobody got a Democrat either. No. They only, those people in that want your golden ballot only know that are wrong elect. Anybody care who you are right now? You think they care that you use a UNC, that you use a PNM? Only when election time come. They don't care.
But you had to pick a side or stay on the sideline.
I am not. I will stay. I'm Diana Benskin. When election time come, I'll figure out who I'll give my vote to.
Yes, at the end
I'll pick a side, but I'm not going to stand and say, well, I's PNM, red shirt, I's UNC, yellow. No. I'm not doing that.
But my thing is this: at the end of the day, you have choices. You pick a party, right, or you stay on the sidelines.
You have a choice not to vote too.
Well, staying on the sidelines is not voting.
You have a choice not to. You don't have to vote. You may not like neither of the. I know a couple of people don't want Joe Biden go back. I know a couple of people don't. They absolutely don't like, this man, the Satanites call it, right? I mean, and they absolutely they don't want to see backside of 45. So
But I think in an election, you don't have to vote.
No.
I think. So let me ask this question.
But I believe it is just me. I believe not voting is saying you support the one, the either the one inside or the one outside.
No, the one inside. If you abstain,
right,
you voted for one. It's like an abstention.
Yep.
So if you sit on the sideline, you cannot complain.
True.
You cannot complain. You have
a right to complain.
You cannot complain.
You have a right to complain, but
no, you don't.
Nope,
You
nope.
don't.
If you don't exercise your franchise,
No, but it is your constitutional right to raise your voice and raise about issue. But it's your constitutional right to vote also.
And that's your voice. And that's the first voice.
Correct. If you decide not to vote, if you decide to sit on the sideline, you have to sit on the sideline for 5 years. That's my opinion. If you decide not to vote, right? You decide not to exercise. In this country, right? We people of color fought for the right to vote.
Yeah.
Fought. And if you decide not to vote, you sit on the bench.
I don't vote
at all.
I does vote.
I vote all the time.
Local election, general election, I does vote.
Election, and I make sure everybody in my family vote. My daughter,
I does vote.
Yes, important, very important.
Right? Kapisa, we don't want to see no part of that man that you just called there. No, he gonna be too busy tied up in court to run any political campaign.
Yeah. Tommy, Denise say you're on a roll tonight, boy. No, Tommy.
Yeah, boy.
Tommy just speaking truth to power.
Yeah, a joke.
Yeah,
Denise, I like your mind and I like your brain. I like.
Stormy.
Denise are real brain, I'm telling all you, I'm telling all you, look, Denise, brain for sober.
Everybody have brain, but it's how you use it.
I think he was advised to do such to distract the people with bacchanal. Who is that he talking about, guy?
The pundits.
Oh, maybe because here we are talking about race.
Where's our guest, Anselm?
Where's who?
The guest.
No, you have to call him and find out. Call him now.
All right, let me go.
Yeah, but I agree that's a distraction that's taking up too much valuable time.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And boy, we in 2023, man, and the man is a pundit. We already know what a pundit is supposed to be, right? He's not acting like a pundit. Sorry. And if that is what he's going to spew to people who come to him, we're in trouble.
Well, you said it. Your last few words are what we have been and will be in for a long time, because when he's just a one example of what's going on and what has been going on and keeps going on.
Yeah. And you see, Tommy, when you put those things out here, people start to believe them too,
Of course.
You see, when you put those things into the atmosphere, and people can say, Pundit said, that is true, boy.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't think are not independent thinkers.
And critical thinkers.
True.
I think in Trinidad, we have to say, we have a lot of people. We have many people that think party as opposed to country. Let me give you an example, Tony. Right? There is this thing about Foster Cummins. Right?
Yes.
And two PNM activists on 91.9 talking about how I call it unequal treatment discrimination, which is a part of an ethnic discrimination, unequal treatment discrimination, because there have been other people who have taken out loans.
You have David's.
Yes, I do have it. And I will play just now, right? And all of a sudden, a man take out a $14 million loan, and we're doing a documentary about it, right? But Julia Davy and a woman that's called she the PSA hater, Jennifer Frederick, I think is she name, right? Two PNM, right? Who can't think for themselves. All them could think is PNM, PNM, PNM. If Dr. Rowley say the donkey green, them coming back and tell you not only the donkey green, the whole tail green, the foot green, everything green, right? They can't think for themselves. And let me tell
you sure it's not Jennifer Baptiste you're talking about?
No. That was the minister, not. She's a activist. She's a PSC. She the PSA hater, because anytime she talk about the PSA, she have nothing good to say about them. Listen to this, right? Those people, when Stuart Young called Karen Nunes Teixeira, Junior Barrack, and Roger Boynes, Potong and termites, them two individuals was silent, like they had permanent, they went to the dentist and they get permanent Novocaine.
No, and Sir John call them Johnny Come Latelys too.
And Johnny Come Latelys, yes.
When they've been in the game long before he was even...
Long before he was in the game. Thanks for reminding me. Johnny Come Lately too. Them two individuals, and I just calling them two, them two want to come now and pronounce on Foster comments. They have no moral authority. Them should go in the corner like little Jack Horner and sit down and, as Ellis say, put their thumb in their mouth and that's it. And sing Go Power Rangers. Yes.
You know, but it is coincidental who it is will be beaten up on Foster the most, eh?
Yeah. You see, Tommy, I don't want to hear them at all. Them have no moral authority to talk about anything in the PNM against. Listen, and let me say again, what happened to Foster Cummins is unequal treatment discrimination. Okay? What happened to Foster Cummins? But you see, them two, them is the last person to defend anybody. Because when time for them to become people in their own party, they sit down silent like a lamb. Silent. So they have no moral authority. They should sit down there in the little corner. They have no authority to talk. We don't want to hear all you. Right? Because anything PNM for them is the best thing. Anything. No matter how bad it is. And I didn't hear one of them, Tommy. Not one of them. Come out and denounce Stuart Young for calling them three black people, potongs, termites, and what is the other one?
Johnny Come Latelys.
Johnny Come Lately. He calling people Johnny Come Lately, and them being in the party way longer than them. And all of them sit on with the permanent, the PNIG, right? Permanent Novocaine in their gums. PNIG I call them. PNIG. Permanent Novocaine in gums. That is it. PNIG. Them PNIGs on them. No. All the NIG don't mean that, Permanent Novocaine in gums. PNIG. yeah. And them just want to talk. How people can listen to them, boy? Them, two of them in HDD, hypocritical, deceitful, and disingenuous. Listen, I don't have a problem with you defending your party, you know. Like how Kapiza does defend the UNC, no matter what. Kapiza will defend that pundit too, right? Either you will defend them or you go stay quiet. One or the other. Right? I don't know if Kapiza have PNIG too. I don't know. But some things happen in this party. I don't hear him say one word. I hear him say nothing about the pundit yet. You know? He ain't say nothing. I think he must be still waiting to get some facts. I don't know. But yeah, Tommy, it's sad. It's sad. Right? And because at the end of the day, boy, we want a better country. We want a better TNT. That is what we want. Yeah? That is what we want.
Kapiza is a mess.
What do you say?
Lice infested.
I don't understand what you're saying.
Lice infested.
Listen, I don't agree with that.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
That's Julia Davies. He's
What is that?
I said that refers to Julia Davies.
No. Dr. Rowley said I think he called Charles. Talk about that's lice infested Charles from the UNC.
Okay.
Yeah. Ali says, so how am I wrong? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not. I don't know if he's having connectivity issues, but I'm not even linking to him.
Okay.
So I don't know. Yes, I don't know. You know, Trinidad. But go ahead. I'm listening to you guys.
It is not coincidental that we have two distinguished political parties to balance the fact that we have two main race of people. Okay. Judy said, but you have to be living in Trinidad and Tobago. See firsthand the nation is under siege by criminals running into stores, people homes is Afro males. I don't want to see others running into others' homes. Some sessions are virtual. I'll check and let you know. Yeah.
We have one race of people, human race. We have different ethnicities. That's what is going on. And the ethnic divide has to be addressed.
Bless Lana, welcome. Bless good night, my village people. Hailey says, cultured people is all people. So how I wrong?
Oh Lord.
Yeah. Hailey, we just read it for you. Bless good night, Ansem, Tommy, and
Good night, Lana, and happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you, Lana. Happy belated birthday. Happy 40th birthday. Lana says, Yeah.
Why are you making Alana is only 25? What's wrong with you?
Oh,
making the girl 40.
My mistake on your error. My mistake.
Alana's 25.
A big if the people should unite, but as when politicians will worry and sweat.
That's right.
You have a hold on the people. When you truth to power.
When you're a genius.
Yeah. All you remember this? Sometimes there's two things I want to play. Right? This one. Listen to this one. Shaking the giant Trinidad and Tobago. Who's shaking
There are two ways in which people are controlled. First of all, frighten people, and secondly, demoralize them. An educated, healthy, and confident nation is harder to govern. And I think there's an element in the thinking of some people. We don't want people to be educated, healthy, and confident because they would get out of control. The top 1% of the world's population own 80% of the world's wealth. It's incredible that people put up with it, but they're poor, they're demoralized, they're frightened, and therefore they think perhaps the safest thing to do is take orders and hope for the best.
Hear that? Hear that? And those are some of the things that we are dealing with in Trinidad and Tobago. Those are some of the things we are dealing with. And it's serious. It is very serious.
It's a worldwide problem, though.
Well, you see, Tommy, for a place of 1.4 million people, say that again?
It's too much thing going on now.
Yeah, I think it would be easier to deal with certain things with a place as opposed to a place with 300 million people. You understand? I think it's easier to deal with. I mean, it come on, man. We are number 6 in the world with respect to crime, man. We are 1.4 million people. Venezuela is number 1. You understand? Why is that? We're making all kind of excuses. A man, they went to Barbados and kidnapped a man and bring him back to Trinidad. They went to a place and kidnapped a man and bring him back to Barbados. I have to call you back on the air. Okay? Yeah, they went to Barbados and kidnapped a man and bring him back. The Prime Minister don't know, and the Minister of National Security don't know. How could that be a real place? How could that be a real place? If something small like that you don't know, what about, then you ain't gonna know who bringing in the guns in Trinidad and Tobago, right? You don't know if the borders are porous or not.
Nope.
Right? You don't know where the Venezuelans coming in. You don't know how much Venezuelans in Trinidad and Tobago. You don't know nothing.
It's not your job to keep people safe. Not your job to give a crime plan to help combat crime. So why are you the Minister of National Security?
I mean, these things are fundamental things, you know, fundamental in our country with 1.4 million people. And listen, folks, it's not 99% bad happening in Trinidad and Tobago.
Oh.
There are some good things happening in Trinidad and Tobago. It just so happens that the bad is outweighing the few good things that are happening. Right? Now, listen to this. The PNM had a sports day in Toko.
Right.
Toko. You go and pave them roads so you could have a sports day in Toko, boy.
How come they have one in Laventille?
But you go, no, because nobody mightn't show up.
Answer me bad.
Nobody
How come they didn't have one in Laventille? Well, how come they have one for Laventille and Beetham? Why? Huh?
All the way to Toko, and they paving the road for them to come in for a sports day. You're trying to fool people.
Mama Gizem, go ahead. They waving a trinket. Go ahead.
No, but the main thing was that construction that had been in progress, which is the bypass road from Valencia to the Toko Main Road. They finished that on time. And, it was long overdue. It should have, well, should I say, it should have been finished long before, but they finally got it done before the sports day.
So it takes sports day in order for them to make people feel that you're coming to Toko, so you go see nice roads in Toko. People say, boy, we see how nice the roads is, boy. The roads nice.
Mama Gizem. And then, you know, I saw something where they had some sports day somewhere else. And somebody was going through the crowd. Yeah. PNM. I was like, okay, I thought it was a Trinidadian and everybody could come and go and, you know, enjoy the sports day. But it became political. The sports day was turned into a political thing. I was like, why? Why is that?
Well,
you know,
well, I wish they had a sports day every month so they can fix my roads.
Tommy, you only 18.6 tonight, boy. Yeah, you know what? I believe, Tommy, you just give me an idea. I believe the people of Laventille should call for a sports day.
Yeah, right? And we should have all the call for a sports day too.
Across the 41 constituency, we have a lot of potholes. All you call for a sports day.
East Dry River, all that place call for a sports day too.
So they could fix the roads.
Yep.
Fix the road for sports day. We have a new plan. Fix the roads for sports day.
When is election in 2025 or 4?
Local should be this year sometime, no?
Coming up soon, right? But between now and June?
Yeah, they're gonna have local election because the PNM now having candidates.
So you see the Mama Gizem? You see the trinket waving thing start now?
No, that was waving trinkets for local elections.
The splashing tar then, if you want to call it.
No, that was strictly for the sports day.
They fill in a pothole. Answer, please. If they wave, that's a trinket they waving. Local election.
That was specifically for the sports day.
Answer, I don't care what you say. And I hear your opinion. I say it's a Mama Gizem thing.
No, because Tommy trying to get a sports day in Sally Bay too.
A Mama Gizem thing. Hey, look, we paved the road for you. Yeah.
So at least American and Canadian politics all messed up because of Caribbean people bring their segregated voting habits to the country.
Whoa!
Okay, Hailey.
Hailey, you'll have to prove that, eh? You just can't make a blanket statement like that and run away.
So what happened to the indigenous people that here, the whites? They don't have no segregation. Oh, okay. Well, let me continue.
Oh, wait. Let me ask Hailey a question. So, Hailey, let me say as we have it in Trinidad, we have Indo-Trinidadians and we have Afro-Trinidadians. When the Afro-Trinidadians and Indo-Trinidadians go to Canada and they become citizens, who do they vote for? Just asking. Do they both vote for the same party, or do they vote for different parties? Hailey just asking. I don't know. Right?
Well,
based on Hailey's statement.
Hmm.
Do they vote? Oh, Hailey says all Trinbagonians vote liberal, regardless if it benefits them or not. So he just said it. He answered it.
Right.
So that means to say that when they leave, so Canada is considered to be like US, the great equalizer then. Right? So when they go to Canada, they all unite around the Liberal Party. Right? But when in Trinidad, we polarize and separate ourselves between two parties.
Based on ethnic persuasions.
Correct. Yeah. You see? And when we come to this country, America is a great equalizer, you know. Look at the census, Look at the different categories on the census. Look at it. Yeah.
Anyone, Capiza want to know it? Who get $1 billion contract?
He wants to know the difference between a pundit, a Mahapata, and a Swami. Tell we. All right. So all right. Let me see what it is.
Lana said a nice name for a party in Trinidad and Tobago. The Equalizer Party, yeah. Yeah, but bring Denzel to run it. Yeah. The Equalizer Party. You know, I did I Googled the census for Venezuela. What's their population?
Yeah.
28.2 million 2021 census.
How much?
28.2 million. Well, you know, a couple of them gone with the pandemic, but more were born too. So 28.2 million according to 2021 census. And they're number one. How much Trinidad have? 1.4.
1.4.
And you have number 6 behind a country with 28.2.
And they're right next to me, and we have several of them in the country.
What? 28.2 million. Oh, that's why we say too small for all these things going on.
All right. So Captain asks a question. What's the difference between a pundit, a Mahapata, and a Swami? Right? So it says these terms are used in Hinduism to refer to different roles or position within the religion. A pundit is a learned scholar or teacher of Hinduism who is knowledgeable in the scriptures, rituals, and philosophy of the religion. Pundits are often consulted for their expertise in conducting religious ceremonies, performing rituals, and interpreting the scriptures. A Mahapata is a high priest in the Hindu religion who is considered to be a spiritual leader and teacher. Mahapatas, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, are responsible for guiding the religious practices of their community, conducting important ceremonies and rituals, and interpreting the scriptures for their followers. A Swami is a title of respect given to a spiritual teacher or guru in Hinduism. A Swami is considered to be a holy person who has achieved a high level of spiritual realization and enlightenment. Swami often live in ashrams and monasteries and are known for their teaching on spirituality, meditation, and pursuit of enlightenment. So I don't know why Capiza asks, but Capiza, there you go.
Right, the way you sound, one song like a pope, next one song like a archbishop, and next one is a deacon.
Okay, all right. So, maybe Capiza, which one do you which one is your what you can call it? Which one is your high priest, or which one is your what?
What title he
which one you worship, so to speak? Which one do you worship, Capiza?
Or follow?
You can't worship these.
Yeah. Which one you follow? Correct.
Which one you follow?
Which one you follow? Yeah. Which one you follow? Yeah. Yeah, Lana said thank you all for your birthday wishes. Anselm, it's like you read but didn't listen to what you read. Or what happening?
Oh, Jesus, Lord.
No, you can't get it right. Oh God. Oh, Ali tell me nano chip boy. I have a nano chip
Oh,
brain boy. Yeah,
mm,
yeah, yeah,
PNM, your nano chip.
yeah. Kamala and Rowley shaking the country.
Who said that?
Really,
Oh, jeez.
Muhammad. If you ask somebody politician when it's Republic, they'll have to check a calendar.
Oh, I already said Kamala only shaking the country. You know, that's a good analogy.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, yeah, boy. We in a real just imagine, boy. All the difficulties we have in the country. The best you could do is to go and sue the prime minister, get the prime minister a pre-action protocol. Really, boy?
And look, they said Trinidad and Barbados government put that kidnap thing together. They know about it and see. Because I want to know, right? Go ahead, answer. Then I won't come in with what I want to know.
Go ahead.
What I want to know is you had to go in there. They went in there by airspace, right?
Yeah.
Of course.
All right. So who controls what come into the country? Your traffic controllers and stuff, right?
Correct.
And who are they under? And did they come in with a private plane and take this man, or did they come in with a regular plane and like?
Be a private plane.
Okay, and I know I have received guests in Barbados already coming in for the cricket they had back in the 90s, early 2000s. That bacchanal thing, and you have a private landing strip behind Granley Adams International Airport where you have to go through such protocol to let them know what is entering their airspace and who and all that. You just can't go and take a plane and fly and go land in people's country. You can't do it. So it tells me both governments knew what was going on.
They had to.
You can't just go. There's not a fig republic. There's not a green fig republic. You have to know. You have to give. What is the aircraft? Who is on it? Where it come in? And all kind of form gonna get filled. And before that plane take off.
But even if they had to extradite that goodly gentleman back to Trinidad, isn't there a protocol?
That's what I'm saying. You remember I said, well, we'll be doing James Bond thing now, and Gorky Park stuff.
But listen to this. The magistrate throw the case. The magistrate, the fella win the case.
You mean when they kidnap him and bring him back to Trinidad?
Yeah. Yes. Hold on. Let me get it here. The magistrate. Boy, the Trinidad and Tobago, boy.
But if I was a judge, I would throw it out too.
Listen to this. Listen.
Yeah, you probably get paid too.
This was just judge calls emergency hearing. Justice Devendra Rampersad, the judge who last week ruled in favor of firearms dealer Brent Thomas in a constitutional claim, called a virtual emergency hearing yesterday of lawyers involved in the matter. Last week, the judge said he found that members of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service had acted unlawfully when they went to Barbados, abducted Thomas, and brought him back to Trinidad and Tobago before charging him for possession of firearms, for which he had the requisite license. Right? Since the ruling, there have been much commentary in the public domain on the judgment, including from the National Security Minister, Fitzgerald Hines. At yesterday's hearing, the Express understand the judge was highly critical of some of the public commentary by top-ranking government officials. The Express further understands, Justice Rampersad said, in due course, the judiciary itself will be issuing a media release in response to some of the criticism that the court has been receiving over the judgment. The matter was called virtually at 3:30 p.m. I cannot say much, but the judge was not pleased with some of the criticism of the judgment. He indicated that the judiciary will be responding to some of these claims very soon, said one of the attorneys in the matter. On Monday, Hines told a news conference aired on state-owned TTT, in which he spoke of the judgment. He opined that criminal elements also had friends in high places, including the police service, the customs division, immigration, the defense force, and even the judiciary, and that some of those in parliament were friends with criminals. Hines also stated that the state will be appealing the judgment of Justice Rampersad. So you see what he did?
Mm-hmm.
See what he did? He threw all of them under the bus. All of them. All of them.
But listen, ain't there supposed to be an extradition treaty, and you write to the relevant authorities, and everybody, get it paid, all the ducks line up, and then you go in and you do what you have to do to bring the man to justice? You're going in overnight and snatch him. What really going on?
Yeah.
Well, then they could come and snatch you from Jersey then.
Yeah, let me say to Takesha, good night to you, and better days are coming.
Good night, Takesha.
Stay focused. Better days are coming.
Yeah.
Better days are coming. Yeah, I mean, it is, and listen, if you knew about it, don't mean to say you have to hide and say, yeah, well, I didn't know. I only learned of it in September. Right? If you only learned of it in September after it already happened, right? And you are the Minister of National Security, and that is your excuse. Now, based on that excuse there that Hines just give, that's a poor excuse. Because if you don't know something wrong, something wrong. And then Gary Griffith issued a release. Let me see what Gary Griffith released. God, boy, it's so much, folks, it's so much. Gary Griffith issued a release. Let me see if I get Gary Griffith
release. That's that long one.
Yeah, I ain't reading that long one. That's a long one. Let me see, boy. God, boy, there's so much, Not this one. Oh, here we go. Here it is. To all editors, date 4th of May 2023 from the National Transformation Alliance. NTA political leader Gary Griffith, Prime Minister Rowley has misled the population. Government has lost the moral authority to continue in government. The Prime Minister, in his capacity of chair of the National Security Council, must be held to account and should not be allowed to camouflage the issues with empty political rhetoric. In this regard, I reiterate to the public that no commissioner of police has the authority to have any officer leave Trinidad and Tobago without the knowledge and authorization of the government of Trinidad and Tobago. Even if personnel from the TTPS or Defense Force were representing the service in a football or hockey match, they cannot leave the country without the approval of the Minister of National Security. That was 1. 2. No commissioner of police has the authority to allow any police officer to be involved in any operation or exercise outside of Trinidad and Tobago without the knowledge and authorization of the government of Trinidad and Tobago. In similar manner, with respect to the Barbadian officers being engaged over the DSS matter, the Minister of National Security have to be engaged for approvals, right?
Wait a minute. He the same fellow with the DSS thing?
No, well, I mean, he's telling you about something to do with DSS.
Oh.
Right? It is impossible for Trinidad and Tobago police officers to be involved in any joint operation with external police officers from another country without the knowledge and authorization of the government of Trinidad and Tobago. 4. It is impossible for any law enforcement official in Trinidad and Tobago to have any access or authorization for the use of any CARICOM aircraft through RSS without the knowledge and authorization of the government official from the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah. And then he says this, in a clear attempt to throw the TTPS under the bus and to undermine the intelligence of the Trinidad and Tobago citizens, this pattern of lying to the public and attempts to interfere into operations of constitutionally independent institutions means they have lost the moral authority to govern with any modicum of good faith or good governance. Gary Griffith, NTA political leader. So there you go.
I want to know. And let me be going down some slippery slopes all over the world, man.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. You see? Oh, listen now. listen to this. Listen to this. Hold on. I think. Hold on. Hold on.
Oh yes. Somebody help. Come and put a hand. Come and wipe away the blight and see what the plight that befall the man of this land. What's going on here? I would like to know why the whole world is in a turmoil. So it look as if we fire God from the job and give the work to the Beelzebub. Man, the devil have a hand in running the land. The devil have a hand in running the land. If you don't have to never like understand. The devil have a hand in running the land. The devil have a hand in running the land. The devil have a hand in running the land. If you don't never like understand, like if Satan in control of running the land. Hey man, oh man.
Yep.
What I was, you know what I mean? Yeah.
And somebody tell the Civil Aviation Authority something, and they went in there. Oh, somebody on the Civil Aviation Authority may be on the take. Who knows?
Yeah.
But did they use which vendor did they use to go in? No, it didn't say.
No, they did something with CARICOM.
With CARICOM?
Yeah.
What do you mean? CARICOM is an airline now?
No. They did something with CARICOM in order for them to get it done. So maybe by using CARICOM, they didn't have to communicate with the Prime Minister of Barbados or the Prime Minister of Trinidad. I don't know. I'm guessing.
No, something went on.
I'm making it up. Yeah. I'm making it up. Yeah. So hold on. Police and thief cannot survive with each other.
Without each other.
Without each other, yeah. All right, let me see who's this call. All right, go ahead, guys. I want to take this call here. Go on, I might.
Oh. Nadia, you're gone? Yeah, boy, everybody. Oh, up in my neck of the woods, cool. Yeah, but so Tommy, you know, they just that. You know, you're there. Imagine you just sit on the lineman, and all of some people just come and snatch you and take you.
Well,
we just see them thing happen in the movies, right?
Yeah, but there had to be much more than you just lineman. Something had to spur the whole situation. It's not an isolated. It was just an isolated incident, you think?
I understand, you know, they look at, but why did they have to go to such extremes? What is he did that they had to resort to, you know, in essence, kidnapping him? Yeah, you know, they're acting like SS back in Hitler days.
But isn't he an arms dealer?
Yeah, he's an arms dealer.
Is he a legal arms dealer?
Yeah, he's a legal arms.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think Mean Gene says Wade Street. He called me Wade Street. I'm sure the road repair was on the books before the planning of these sports there.
You sure they were the road repair?
Yeah. I mean, Gene, whatever.
No. That road repair project's been going on for years.
Yeah, and suddenly they get fixed, right?
Well,
and you know what? Let me go back to the same thing. They had an emergency hearing You see how fast they organize an emergency hearing, but yet you have them black men sitting there on remand for how long?
Yeah, for a long time.
Yes, say forever.
Yeah. What Hailey saying there makes sense, eh? They have them sitting there for a long time. He said they vote liberals because liberals open the country to accepting immigrants, but it's the only reason Trinidadians vote liberals. In Canada, all Caribbean people are black. So, Hailey, I thought you was considered to be a cultured person. You consider yourself to be a cultured person. You know? But you see that issue you raised there, Diana, with respect to the prison, right? People don't want to address that issue, you know.
An emergency hearing again? Emergency. But they have them fellas sitting there for years. So them can have an emergency hearing too?
Oh God.
Yeah, oh God, man. You know, nah, boy. Something wrong. Like we have to go back and something wrong.
Just reading what Rennie says. The real question is what the difference between a pundit and a bandit.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
Ready?
Hey, Rennie, behave yourself, you know. The pundit know how to pray for you, you know. Mind the pundit pray and turn you into a bandit, you know.
Yeah. So the typo by Mean Gene was a typo, eh, people? I'm sure the road project was on the books before the planning of the sports day. But Mean Gene, oh God. Let me just do a little critical thinking now. If it was on the books before the sports day, how come convenient it was done just before the sports day?
So
just asking, how come? Oh God, Mean Gene. Yeah?
Yeah.
Mean Gene, answer me that now, man. If they have a sports day in Tobago and this road they've been trying to repair this road for 10 years, and all of a sudden, Mean Gene, just before the sports, the day before the sports, the road complete. What does that tell you? Eh? So, folks, you're going to go for a quick station identification. It's in the village with the DAT Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. Stick and stay. We'll be right back after this.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
Tobago, politics was we and them. That was never meant to be so, according to the anthem. But ethnic insecurity was maintained to divide us by some people in the country to sow the seeds of distrust. But we have bought a new system within the community. Now what used to be we and them has now become only we. From now on this nation is we. From now on it is you and I. From now on it is unity. From now on we flying high. All the races have come together to build a better country and create a brighter future for the whole society. The we and them thing is no more, because it is plain to see in this country from shore to shore the community is we. No more we and them. From now on this nation is we. No more we and them. From now on this nation is we and we and we and we.
Of course, we are back with you. It's in the village with the DAT Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. We come to you every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. That's Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. Let's call David Mohammed. You know what? Let's call David Mohammed. If you pick up the phone. I sent him a message today. Let me call. Hold on.
You call Dr. Mohammed?
Yeah, I'm going to call.
Yeah, I'm not even getting through to the guy. I ain't getting no link at all. Okay.
So, folks, we're calling Dr. David Mohammed. Does he have his program tonight, right?
I think so. I think he's live right now. Let me go check social media. I'll tell you.
All right, let's call who else we can call? Let's call who's that fella? Let me see if that fella will pick up his phone. What's his name again? He used to be here, man, the UNC fella.
Naked?
Nah, the other one. He used to be here many times when the Phantom was here.
Oh, the other not Mudla.
No, Damon. That is Damon.
Damon Lider.
Lider, yeah, Damian Lider. That's it. Damian Lider. So we call him Senator Damian Lider. Senator Lider drop you like a hot potato, yes, boy?
Boy.
Man used to pick up his phone and thing, you know, boy. He ain't picking it up no more, boy. I wonder if Kamala tell him to pick up the phone no more.
Maybe, you never know.
Yeah. I wonder if Kamala, hey, don't pick up all the phone. All right. Let me call Naked and see if Naked go pick up the phone. Hey, let me call Fitzgerald Hines.
Good luck.
I want to call Fitzgerald Hines on Messenger. Let me see. Because that time he might know the number might be
Answer him, just listen to you. So you gonna know you're calling him a messenger now.
no.
Oh no.
Fitzgerald Hines. Here we go, Fitzgerald Hines. Oh, here we go.
No, you're calling him on messenger.
So folks, we calling the Minister of National Security, Fitzgerald Hines. You gotta try all kind of thing, you know.
Yep.
They're not gonna answer you.
You never know, Diana. You mightn't see what it is that he might pick up.
But he's listening to your answer, so you know you're calling him.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, Mr. Fitzgerald Hines. You are live on WZYE 95.9 FM in New Jersey. How are you doing, sir?
Well, you're not taking into
Say that again, sir?
You're not taking into account the fact that I'm otherwise involved.
He's otherwise involved. You don't have a moment for us, sir, for two questions? This is Miss Bensky.
What you can do as professionals is call me. Let's make an appointment so I can speak to you more congenially.
So we've been trying to reach you now for 2 years and we have been unable to get in contact with you.
I'm not so sure how that's true. I've spoken to perhaps every media house in Trinidad and Tobago for the last 2 years, and of course even international media. So let's do it better next time, okay?
So, sir.
Good night.
Hello.
Wish you all a very good night.
Can we, sir? 1 minute? Hello.
Contact me, and let us make an arrangement. I'd be quite happy to speak to you if we do it a little more professionally, and let's arrange it so I can be of greater value to your listeners.
So, sir, can I send you a WhatsApp on WhatsApp and you'll respond?
Once you send me a WhatsApp, I'm a very polite and courteous man, although I'm sure you don't think so, but send
whatever. Why would you say that, sir? Why would you say that?
I've heard you before expressing some of the most insulting and derogatory comments, but that's a matter aside. Send me the message and I'll be more courteous than you have been.
I didn't call you to talk about that, though. I just called you to talk about.
More courteous than you have been. Send me the message. A very good night to you.
I'm doing 10 push-ups.
I just want to tell all you something. Never ever give up on anything. Seriously. Right?
I'm doing 10 push-ups on number 2.
No, trying. You see, now listen to this. Listen to this. It tells you, I call the man, right? And he has data for me.
Yeah.
You understand? And I go clip that out and I go put it on social media.
Oh boy.
I go clip it and I go put it on social media. They're too wicked and evil.
Boy.
I go clip it and I go put it out on social media. I go blast him. I go blast him. You know
But
why?
answer me, you ain't gonna answer a thing at all again now.
Yeah, if you answer, you answer. That's all right. You not answering, right? But a person call you, right? And you have to tell them, and listen to this now. He telling me I said the most vicious and vile thing about he. Can you imagine that?
But hey, you call him fail Gerald Hines. You say he's an abysmal failure. Come on, answer me, man.
But he's a failure.
Oh Lord. No, you know you answer now WhatsApp at all.
But I listen, and I go send it to him. Watch. I'm glad that all you for yourself, right? You hear for yourself, right? It's true arrogance on display. Margaret, you are absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. You understand? You can't spend a minute for us. Or let's say we get him by surprise, He thought it was somebody else. They can't.
I didn't know you could do that on Messenger.
Yeah. When you call on Messenger, it don't show up. Your name don't show up.
I'll try that, boy.
When I call him on WhatsApp, my name don't show up. Wall Street go show up, and you go say by me answering that phone.
Oh.
Yeah? But I call him. Oh, let's see. You just a little critical.
Yeah, but he didn't have to carry along so though. Nah. No, you didn't have to. Fitzgerald Hines, you didn't have to behave like that. Come on.
Hailey say, no, Hailey. Don't get into it with the man. Just let it be. Humble yourself. Hailey, no. Hailey say, no, Hailey.
Jean say, look for that.
He's supposed to serve the people of Trinidad and Tobago. He's a servant of the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
When you ain't from Trinidad, you outside.
No, the
tax. He say media houses in Trinidad and Tobago. He make sure and tell you that,
Yeah. But I have said the most vicious and vile things about him. Yeah, I guess you're listening, boy.
If you call me an abysmal failure, I ain't want to talk to you neither.
But he's an abysmal failure.
You see? You're going to put your answer. Me not going to even answer the WhatsApp now.
Right. You need to answer. Wait, let me answer now. You see them? Them want to go to media where they could control.
Said that you're not a professional. You're not professional, Anselm. Wrong with you? Huh?
Yeah.
2 years. 2 years we've been trying to, huh?
2 years.
All throughout the lockdown, the show, the shutdown, the broke down, the all kind of down.
Now
we've been trying.
We catch him, boy. We catch him. All in all, no. It on record for Gerald Hines now. It's on record. Right? And no, all right. See, I'm not going to release that from social media. I go send him a message tomorrow for him to come on the program on Saturday. I ain't releasing nothing. I go send him a message. All you hear what you say? Send him a message.
Yep.
Send him a message. Let me see now. We have him where we have him. We have him.
Yeah, send him. But he said, well, professional, and he deals with the media houses in Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah. Okay, good. You not in Trinidad and Tobago, so he's not dealing with you.
Yeah, you want to come and he vexed too bad, but me and Jean said I look for that. Me and Jean don't look for that. We try the man on WhatsApp over and how much time we try you on WhatsApp?
100.
More than 100.
Generous. You're being generous.
Numerous times. Numerous.
Say a PNM person and pick up the phone.
Hi.
Yeah. Now what I had to do? I had to get all them PNM people now in my messenger.
Yeah, call it there. He say he's otherwise engaged.
He's otherwise engaged. When he hears me, he's otherwise engaged.
He say he's busy now. He say I'm otherwise engaged. You hear the barrister law coming out in it.
Man, vexed too bad, boy. You see all kind of thing about me. Yeah?
Yeah. But you did say some horrible things of answer. If you call me a failure and a this and a that, how many? I wouldn't want to talk to you neither.
Well, use a representative. Margaret, you are correct. The problem with this administration, they feel not accountable to anyone. You don't feel you don't feel you talk to me. Yeah? It's true arrogance on display. Yeah. No, it's in record now, you know. He can't take it back now. He can't. Because he says send him a message and he will come.
Right?
Well, send him a message. What did he say?
So send my message professional way, the right way, or whatever. But you listen to it, you will paraphrasing.
Let's see what it is. It's at 2 hours and something.
Mm. Tommy, he says, wait, what? He's otherwise engaged.
Yes.
Vance, the man otherwise engaged.
You couldn't give us a minute of your time, 2 minutes of your time.
And wait now, that your representative from Chumacag, right?
Lavantil West. Yes, Lavantil West.
That your representative?
Yes, Lavantil West. Yeah. You afraid of him?
Who else he represent? Takesha and who else? Erica.
Yeah.
All the representative want to talk to all the boy.
But hear the story. When I started to fight for the building in Chumacag, right? I call him out, and he write a letter months after I start to fight for the building. He write a letter to either Udicott or whoever with regards to the building. And not smartly, they post it on social media. I say, well, you think about this, right? The building sitting there since 2015 under the PNM. In 2022, was either 2021 or 2022, he now sending a letter to Udicott asking them about the building. 7 years later. Really? Right? And he man, all them people up there trying to defend them. They're defending them left, right, and center. You understand?
I want to know who get in the building. Who get in the spot with the building or what they're going to do there.
You want in Port of Spain?
Yeah, the same one you're fighting for. I want to know.
On Duncan Street?
Yeah, I want to know what they put in there next.
Well, is that, you know what? As you say that, let me call back.
The mayor say you don't know.
But he tell we to find out for we.
All right, go ahead.
You didn't say that?
Go ahead.
Hold on. Let me call him Martinez.
Everything is a hush.
Yeah, Martinez. We're calling you with one question. Mayor, we have one question for you. This is our follow-up. We call it Mayor Martinez. We just do it different. We just call you. Mayor Martinez, how are you doing, sir? Honorable Mayor Martinez.
I am fine. Who is this?
This is Anselm from WZYE 95.9 FM in Jersey. We have a quick.
Lost you. This is who?
This is Anselm from WZYE 95.9 FM in New Jersey. We have
you broke up. You broke up.
This is Anselm from WZYE 95.9 FM in New Jersey. You are on air.
How are you going?
I'm going excellent. We have one quick question for you. That's all.
One quick question.
Yes, you told us recently that we called you that you will get back to us on the building on Duncan Street, the former Workers Bank building. On who has bought that building?
I said I would get back to you. That's correct, right?
Yes.
I haven't gotten back to you.
Okay, it's been a few weeks.
Which means I didn't find out.
Okay.
I actually have been extremely busy because last week I was in Denver, Colorado for a mayor's summit, which I spent the whole week there. I returned on Saturday, and this week I'm entertaining the Caribbean Association of Local Government Practitioners.
Okay.
And they are in the country for us to talk about sustainable development for the Caribbean. So I hosted them tonight at my office, and that's where I'm currently at. And they're still out there having a good time on my balcony.
Okay.
But I really did not have a chance to investigate who owns the building as such.
Okay. All right. So
how important it is to you, by the way?
Well, we are all citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, and
agreed.
When we see things happening I grew up in Chumacag, Laventer.
Right. Okay.
And I am I am a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, and I see that
Right. Okay.
they are,
Me too.
they are demolishing the building, and I know
Uh-huh.
gentrification is coming to Port of Spain, and we were
It's not something that you're concerned about.
gentrification.
Is it? Yeah.
Well, I'm concerned about gentrification. Depends on how it's being gentrified.
How you think Trinidad deals with gentrification?
I'm not sure. You can tell us.
Well, I mean, no, I ask, because in any case, if you look at how we have treated our people over the years,
Mm.
I think if we do something, we'll always, as a government, whether it's local or central government, we always do something with the care in mind of the people.
Okay.
And when you care about people, because that's what local government really does, we look after the people through services.
Mm-hmm.
And if we do some if there's something that has to be done, we will always take the people into consideration, because local government is about people.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, what we want to do is we want to make a better quality of life for people, because Trinidad over the years provide a lot of social services to our people, to be able to get them on their feet, to be able to give them a better quality of life, to be able to sustain all the hardships that come at them. We are a blessed country in a way, and we find ourselves being able to assist the people and to be able to allow them to be able to develop themselves. And that, to me, is what, that's why I'm in local government. I'm not in local government to put up buildings, or to not just to make sure that the parks are clean and so on, or the streets are clean. But all of that is part of it, because you want people to be able to enjoy every day of their life in a place where they live and where they feel comfortable. And that really and truly is the of local government, right? You're going to have once you're in local government, you're going to encounter the vulnerable society, and your job is to find a way to make it better for them. So if gentrification has to come through a process, the government that I am associated with is really about it's about the people's national movement. People is always at the forefront of the party, the process, the nation, the thinking. And to me, whatever we do, it will always be for the development of our people.
Yeah. So, Mr. Mayor, we just were concerned that those people that lived there and lived there for many, many years will eventually be removed and put somewhere else. And other people, because gentrification in the United States of America, means to say that for example, I went to school in Bedford-Stuyvesant, and Bedford-Stuyvesant have been gentrified, but it wasn't gentrified for the people who were there first. It was gentrified for other people. And now in Bed-Stuy, a house could cost about 1.5 million. Less than that. When back in the days when I went to school in Bed-Stuy, you could get a house for $250,000, $300,000. So that's when we talk about gentrification, that's what we're talking about.
So let me ask you a question.
Sure.
You ever heard of Diamondville?
Of course.
Right. Diamondville was a project that for the people. It was low cost housing.
Excellent.
It was a development. It was a development.
Yes.
That gave a lot of people a starter.
Correct.
The government of the day was the one that developed that. And the Diamondvilles around the place. And I use Diamondville as a reference because everyone who got an opportunity to live in Diamondville raised their standard of living, raised their quality of life. They weren't always from Diamondville, because Diamondville didn't exist before, it was just land. So when they went there, what they did is they create a community, and around the community they created the different things. There's churches there now, there is health centers, there is a community center, there is a grocery, and so on. So the people on Dino Jail are very, very comfortable. But it may have taken them a little while to be able to do all of that because, the government can't put all of that in place. Remember, we are at a time, too, where money is a difficult proposition. And we, and to put all of it together to make sure that people could benefit from it all sometimes takes a little bit longer than we anticipated. But at the end of the day, we always look after our people.
So, Mayor, Mr. Mayor, are they going to have...
So just running based on that track record, you can tell that whatever we do, right, will be progressive to the people of the space in which they operate.
So, Mr. Mayor, is it that in those places now that we're going to have housing, or you're going to have condominiums, or you're going to have, buildings?
Well, one of the things that we want to do is we want to bring people back to the city of Port of Spain.
Okay.
And in order to bring people back that's the part of the revitalization program, is to get people back, because over the years, people have moved out of the city of Port of Spain and have gone to the suburbs. And Port of Spain has been affected as a result of that. So if you look at most of the major cities in the world, 80% of the people, right, live in the city. What we need to do is we need to change the dynamic of our city and make it better for living.
But is that going to be privately owned, or is government going to be constructing those buildings?
Well, if government construct it, right, it will be sold to the people, because that's what they want. We want people to own the properties in which they have. That way, it will increase their self-esteem. It will increase their sense of value, and it will help them to understand the value of ownership.
Mr. Mayor, we want to thank you so much for taking our call. Every time we call you, you have picked up the phone. We appreciate your time, and we respect your time as well. We want to thank you so very kindly for taking our calls. We appreciate it.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, thank you.
Mr. Mayor. At your service while I'm still the mayor.
Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate it.
You're most welcome. Anytime.
Okay. Bye-bye.
A pleasant good night.
Good night, sir.
And the mayor is otherwise engaged also.
Yeah.
And he took the time out.
But you pick up the phone. You see what this? And that's all we just ask of you, man. Pick up the phone and talk to us, man. Even if you want to BS us. Pick up the phone.
You threw some questions at him, he answered you. That was it. What is so big a deal?
I don't get it. He was about you have said so much derogative things about me. You man really, I really hit a nail, I really hit a stone in the man's head, but
oh Lord. But here now, I latched on to something that the mayor said. Change the dynamic. You hear that too, Tommy?
Mm-hmm.
You hear them words, Anselm?
Yeah.
Just what we're thinking is just what's going to happen.
They want to change the dynamic.
That's why I talk about gentrification.
You already said?
Yeah.
Ownership. He wants the new space that's going to be or new
ownership.
Okay.
How many of them people who live in there now could own anything there?
Right. And we're living in times where money hard. So if money hard for, a certain whatever, it's really harder for them on the bottom, right? Okay, there we go.
But gentrification, if you look at gentrification, you know what example, and that's why I use Bed-Stuy, man.
They're going to they're going to change the dynamic. What's wrong with you?
Whole thing change up.
They're going to change the dynamic.
That's why I asked them if it was going to be private or governmental. You know what I mean?
Good night, Mr. Ken John.
Yeah. But you know what? We had a game credit, eh? We had
he answered.
He answered. And that's what we ask of you. That's
and that's why I talk about people are holding on to biases and grudges. You're a politician. You see when these guys come up in the States and they want our vote, they go up on the podium and take the links. Huh? From the news people and the panel that they pick. Come on.
No.
I'm a call Gary.
the Minister of National Security showed that he's thin-skinned.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
He shows his true colors.
Yeah,
he otherwise engaged. I'm told, yeah.
Yeah, he ain't ready.
You ain't ready. You're not ready for prime time.
He otherwise engaged, man. Leave him alone.
He otherwise engaged. What do you mean he otherwise engaged? Mr. Gary Griffith go pick up the phone. Hold on, man.
He might be otherwise engaged too.
Nah, but he might pick up the phone. I think he go pick up the phone this time. Hello, Mr. Gary Griffith. You are live on WZYE 95.9 FM with In the Village with the DAT Triplet. It's Anselm, Diana, and Tommy. How are you doing, sir?
Fine, thanks. But was I supposed to be on at this time?
No, we just call you. We just call you. We have a quick question for you.
Check that ambush. Okay. Good evening, everyone.
It's no ambush, man. We don't ambush you, man.
No, that's fine. I understand. I'm only joking.
Yeah. We not ambushing you. But yeah, what it is, right? We want a little more clarification with regards to what happened with the extradition out of Barbados of that arms dealer and brought back to Trinidad. You know what I mean? We just want to have some clarity because we was discussing it, and we know you could bring some clarity to that.
Okay, we are live?
Yeah, we live.
Okay, right. Okay. So just to clarify, me being a previous member of the Defense Force, a previous National Security Advisor, Commissioner of Police, and Minister of National Security, I know this better than most. So to clarify what has been stated by the Prime Minister, that you remember the television series Hogan's Heroes with Schultz? When Schultz
I remember that.
There's nothing.
Yeah, I know nothing. I see nothing.
So he's doing a Schultz, which is impossible. When you're Commissioner of Police, you do not have any authorization to send any member of the police service outside of the waters of Trinidad and Tobago. You don't have that authority. As the Commissioner of Police, anytime you have to send, I played hockey for Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force and the police service. If we have a hockey game in Barbados, or we'll go to New York for the Big Apple Hockey Festival, if we have to do that, the Defense Force or the Commissioner of Police has no authority. Anytime a member of the Protective Services leaves, even to play a hockey game or a soccer game, you must get the permission from the Minister of National Security. You must get cabinet approval because it involves insurance, it involves the airfare, it involves stipend, it involves the accommodation. So you must get it must be approved through cabinet. Any member of the Protective Services who is representing the Protective Services, whether it's a sport or business. So to start with, when the Prime Minister says the government has nothing to do with it, it shows his ignorance in understanding his role and function as the chair of the National Security Council and his loss of knowledge in actually understanding how the Protective Services operate. Secondly, the Commissioner of Police does not have authority to have any police officer be involved in any exercise or operation outside the jurisdiction of Trinidad and Tobago waters without the approval of the Minister of National Security. 3, the CARICOM aircraft that was used, no member of the Protective Services in Trinidad and Tobago has any authorization to even make a request for something like that. It must come through the government of Trinidad and Tobago. So for the Prime Minister to mislead the country to say that I am Schultz, I know nothing, we know nothing about it. It is impossible for the aircraft to have been used. It is impossible for the officers to have left here, and it is impossible for them to be involved in any joint operation with external law enforcement agencies without the full approval, knowledge, and authorization from the government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago.
And Mr. Griffith, this is Diana here. What about the other end, Barbados, the Civil Aviation Authority over there? Don't they have to get permission to fly over Barbados airspace, land on? Didn't they have to be involved?
Yeah, well, definitely. So obviously there was a joint exercise that would have taken place because the Barbados Police Force, they were also involved in the removal of Mr. Thomas from Barbados, from the hotel onto the aircraft. But again, this is where the investigation will come in. Keith Rowley tried it well. He went and bobbed and weaved with the meritless fiasco where he pretended he didn't know anything about it and then was forced to come forward and admit that our president broke the law and did not adhere to the law. And Blissy Prasad broke the law by removing the meritless without the approval of the Police Service Commission. She should have been arrested by now. But obviously, we have the police who are reluctant to do their job in Trinidad and Tobago since I left. And it's the same situation here. So in this hold on a minute. Yeah, sorry. So in this situation here, the Barbados police force, they would have obviously been taken information from the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. So it is not really their job to have ascertained whether the warrant is legit and all of that. So whoever would have forwarded the information would have simply stated, we just need your support. We have a criminal in Barbados who's a Trinidad and Tobago citizen, and we want your assistance to have this person arrested, apprehended, and brought onto the aircraft. So Barbados, in a way, they just followed the requests by a fellow neighbor, expecting that it would have been legitimate, authentic, and it would have the full backing and authorization from the relevant authorities. Until the court now has revealed, and that is why obviously Prime Minister Mia Mottley is very concerned, the Attorney General is very concerned, because it may seem that they were misled by relevant authorities in Trinidad and Tobago, be it either and the government of Trinidad and Tobago and or the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. So that's why they're very concerned. So Keith Rowley, initially, as I said, with the meritless, he was able to cover it up and ignore it. This time he can't do it because he does not have any control of the governance of Barbados. So what he does in Trinidad and Tobago is try to bully the media so the media will not ask the questions. And then after 2 weeks, we will move on. In this situation, this matter is going to explode in CARICOM because we have used a CARICOM RSS aircraft to be involved in the virtual abduction / kidnapping of a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. And what made it worse is that the Minister of National Security in Trinidad and Tobago decided to disrespect our judiciary by trying to allude that we have criminal elements being linked to the judiciary. And I think you may have seen that press release that came from our judiciary, slamming and condemning the Minister of National Security for his outrageous comments by trying to allude they're being linked with criminal elements.
So, Mr. Griffith, we're in a mess. But listen, we're not going to call you any longer. We appreciate you picking up the phone. And anytime a person just pick up the phone, I respect their time. But we go book you to come in and we go talk.
Sure.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Take it.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
And Slam, I tell you, 007 thing went on, boys.
All kind of thing going on in Trinidad.
He said, and the relevant authority pulled the one man in charge, pull a Schultz. I hear nothing. I see nothing. I know nothing.
The man pull a Schultz. Man pull a Schultz. Who else we could call?
Madam Mia Mottley, boy, she vexed with all you.
Yeah, let me call David Nackett now. This is the last call. We go call David Nackett.
Mia Mottley vexed with all you now. All you're going to make it hard for me to go back to Barbados now, eh? Watch it now, eh? All right, good.
We're kind of late, boy. Look, David Nackett. He picked up the phone last time, boy.
He could be otherwise engaged.
Yeah, he engaged too.
So nobody can call you this time of night in your house. What's wrong with you?
You could call me. He's a senator. He's on 24 hours call.
So you think it's call me anytime?
Yeah. Them Fitzgerald lines and them should be on 24 hours call.
That's right.
You should be able to call them any morning to pick up the phone.
No, but he's a professional, you know?
Who's that?
The whole thing changed up.
Senator Nackett, you are live on WZYE 95.9 FM. How are you doing, sir?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I am doing splendiferous, marvelous, trumendiferous, splentastic, splentacular, and wondrous.
They knocked down the building in Chumakaki. He ain't doing so well, sir.
Well, you're doing better than 99% of the citizens in Trinidad and Tobago.
But Senator, we're not going to keep you long. Senator, we want to ask you a straightforward question, right? And we here in the United States of America understand very well stand your ground laws. And there are two major drawbacks to stand your ground laws in this country. It's increased violence and the pursuit of racial biasness. And there are many young black youth who have been killed in this country due to stand your ground laws, and many people have been convicted. Not only that, Senator, but there are 28 states that have stand your ground laws, and 25% of 7 of them have either repealed or modified the law. And we here find it somewhat difficult that Mrs. Kamala Persad-Besser, the political leader of the opposition party, will want to bring stand your ground laws in Trinidad. And let me just add lastly, CASA doctrine would have been a better law to want to, if it's not already on the books in Trinidad and Tobago, a CASA doctrine would be a better law to be in Trinidad rather than stand your ground laws. What do you say?
Well, I think, first of all, you need to keep everything relevant to the particular context. You have stated, and rightly so, that stand your ground laws have been very taken out of context. They have been abused, especially by the white population against the black population in the United States. That is a fact.
Correct.
And we have the case of several cases, especially in Miami, where it's very prevalent, that use.
Yes.
But you cannot compare the demographics of the United States with the demographics of Trinidad and Tobago. In the United States, it's primarily black against white. Unless you want to polarize the country and believe that the stand your ground laws are somehow going to pit African against Indian, that is patently incorrect. That narrative that has been attempted to be pushed, not only by Keith Christopher Rowley and the PNM, but by people like Satyanan Miraj, that pundit who spoke a lot of racial crap. That is not relevant to Trinidad and Tobago. Those stand your ground laws, I'll tell you what is the relevance of that. Now, of course, we worry, and because we are Trinidadians, and because we tend to be mimic men, as D.S. Naipaul would have said, we tend to look towards America. Our demographics we are very much more, I would say, diverse than America, and our interaction between our people, different peoples, it's on the ground. I'm not talking about those who seek to polarize the country, but on the ground it's very, very different. So when we talk about stand your ground, basically what the opposition leader is saying is that we have a right as homeowners that when we perceive that threat, when somebody has actually invaded our space, we are not in a position anymore where we have to try and ascertain should we use proportionate force as it is now. Because as you know, in Trinidad and Tobago, you can have self-defense. I understand that, but that's not the point. In Trinidad and Tobago, still, if you are attacked within your home, and let's say that home invader doesn't possess any guns, any cutlass, any knife or anything, but he came in with his bare hands. But you, being somebody protecting your wife and fearing the worst, especially given the climate of crime in Trinidad and Tobago, you have a young daughter. You do not know his intentions. You do not know that if he's a piper, a vagrant, a homeless, or somebody who is able to carry out the most dastardly acts on your family, kill your wife, rape your daughter. You don't know that. You cannot wait a certain, brother, whether that's gonna happen. Given the climate and the country, are you watching the videos that are being spread around Trinidad and Tobago, where people are just coming into bars and into homes and just killing and beating people? You can't ascertain. You can't say, well, you know what? He doesn't have a gun. He doesn't have a cutlass. So here what? I will respond in kind. I will use my fist. I will use my oar. Because in Trinidad and Tobago, you use a force that you deem to be sufficient or you deem to be appropriate to defend your family. And you can well be brought up for assault if that force is deemed excessive by the police service or by a judge. So what we are saying, because of the climate of crime, because this government of Keith Christopher Rowley has implemented public policies that has exacerbated crime, that has great crime, especially within certain communities along the east-west corridor. Because of that, and the climate of crime, we are not asking for this law for one people. With this law, this stand your ground, is for everybody who knows that it's important that you have to defend your family, your wife, your son, your daughter, your tanti, your nenen, because you cannot wait around to a certain that, you know what, he doesn't have a certain weapon, so I have to respond appropriately, proportionately. No, that's not how it works. And this fear that we have in Trinidad and Tobago, that people are going to use this, somebody jump the fence and steal a mango, and stealing a mango, you come out and all of that is hyperbole. All of that is inflaming the situation and not responding to the direct needs of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago at this point in time.
So, Senator Naked, I think that we are getting stand your ground and the CASA doctrine mixed up. The CASA doctrine is a principle, right, that provides individuals with certain legal protection for using force in self-defense within their own home or casa. The doctrine is based on the idea that a person has the right to defend their home, family, property from intruders and shall not be required to retreat before using force to do so. I totally agree with that 100%. And I believe that what it is, maybe Mrs. Kamala Prasad Desessa wanted to talk about, was the CASA doctrine, or, Senator Naked, you could use the duty to retreat, because many of the states that have repealed the stand your ground laws are using the law with respect to duty to retreat.
No. Stick up in, brother. Stick up in.
Okay.
No. Stick up in.
Yeah.
Because what you are saying is very, very well true, because you have quoted about the Castle Doctrine. But
Yeah.
your stand your ground law, as it is in the United States, that doesn't mean that it's the same, that exact legislation for stand your ground in the United States is what we are talking about. What we are talking about is the perception of proportionate force in stand your ground. In stand your ground, what we are saying is that you cannot give the homeowner the burden. The owner should not be on him to decide what is proportionate or reasonable force. And that's why in your stand your ground, somebody invades your home, you don't have time to ascertain. You have a firearm.
That's the CASA doctrine. That's the CASA doctrine.
No, hold up. That is the Castle Doctrine. Yeah. But in stand your ground as well, somebody invades your home, you can use whatever force you deem necessary. Don't forget that.
Because Senator Naked, that's not stand your ground, Senator Naked. Senator Naked.
No, it's wrong. You talk about stand your ground as you have it in the United States. No one said that stand your ground legislation as the United States is a legislation that we will bring for stand your ground here in Trinidad and Tobago. We will make it appropriate to our situation here in Trinidad and Tobago. So you are thinking that the exact same legislation for stand your ground that they have in Miami and on the books in several states in the United States is what we are going to bring here for the legislation here. In other words, you are saying copy paste, and I'm telling you no, that's not the situation, and that is exactly the kind of inflammatory rhetoric that Keith Rowley is trying to push. That we want to bring that same exact legislation as drafted in America, as practiced in America, to here. Have you heard the political leader of the opposition say that? No, she has not.
Right, but Senator Naked, when you listen, I heard us at stand your ground. Once I heard stand your ground, I started to do research on my own, because we deal with it here, right? But also, Senator Naked, there's the duty to retreat. Many of the stand your ground laws in this country, right, are being modified and repealed, but they are using now duty to retreat, which is the duty to retreat from a threatening situation if you can do so with complete safety. That is what they are replacing stand your ground with. And as I said, there are 25% of the 28 states, which is 7 states, have repealed or modified stand your ground. Now, when Mrs. Kamala Prasad Desessa, the political leader of the UNC, came out and said that, she didn't give any qualifying situation or explanation regarding stand your ground.
So why are you Exactly. She did not qualify anything. In other words, she has not told you what exactly would our interpretation, our legislation be of the standard ground. You're taking it like we are going to go copy paste.
No. I am taking it that she should have done a little more research before she come out.
No. You cannot say that because she has not qualified. She put out the idea of stand your ground, and you guys are running it, and you keep I'm telling you that the demographics here are different than the United States, and you keep telling me about the states in the United States. I am well aware of the United States situation. I'll give you an example. I am very much in favor of capital punishment in Trinidad and Tobago because I know the demographics here. I'm very much opposed to capital punishment in the United States because I am aware of the biased judiciary that they have in towards African Americans and Black people in general in the United States. So you cannot take one from one jurisdiction and copy paste in another. And you keep telling me about the United States and the demographics. I'm telling you, my brother, that you are wrong as far as in that regard. The stand your ground was just the concept of stand your ground. But the actual legislation that will surround stand your ground, you have to wait and see that what we as a party, what the political leader comes with before you comment on it.
Well, Senator Nakir, I don't think we have to wait. I think what we have to do is make sure that the political leader of the UNC understands what are some of the ramifications from a law that's here in the United States. And let me give you a quick example, right? Let's say, due to the situation that's happening in Aranguez, right? I went to visit a young lady in Aranguez, right? And I passed by your house, right? One time. And I said, boy, I forget something by the house. And I passed back by your house again. And then I passed back by your house a third time, right? Based on stand your ground laws, you could be Rick. Now, this is just an example. Eh? You can think that maybe that person is a threat.
I get where you're going, but that's a absolutely out of the scale example, and I think it's very unfair to use that example, especially again.
All right, let me go to Lavantil then. Let me go to Lavantil.
Again, I repeat, demographics that pertain and that are relevant to Trinidad and Tobago are completely different.
Who's breaking up? Somebody breaking up?
Indians are against Africans, Africans against East Indians.
But Senator Naked, listen to this, right? Listen. We this is a great discussion.
Your voice is breaking up.
Yeah. All right.
Hello?
So listen, you hearing me?
Mm.
Are you hearing me?
Yeah.
Hello. I didn't hear what you said before.
Okay, no, I really didn't say much because the thing was reconnected. Senator Naked, listen to this, right? This is a great debate. Yes. And we respect your time, but we want to bring you back so we can have a nice debate about, the stand your ground and the Castle Doctrine as well as the duty to retreat, right? We respect your time.
Let's wait and see exactly what's the legislation that we intend to draft or that we will bring to the table concerning the concept. And again, I tell you, it's a concept more than a fixed legislation that has been drafted. So let's not make assumptions.
All right, give it a different name, though. Don't give it stand your ground.
No. But what I mean? A rose by any other name.
Yeah, because if you put if you put lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig, Barack Obama said that. Barack Obama said that.
Yeah. Depend on is it a pig in human form? Any assumption? Yeah. Let's not make any assumptions. Let's wait and see legislation. Let's see how it is qualified. Let's see how it's drafted before you start to say, well, we copy pasting and it.
No, but listen.
Stand your ground is what she brought to the table.
Right. Listen. Tell your leader. Tell your political leader. Think twice about naming it stand your ground. Because
I know because you live in the States. I live in the States as well.
No, I know that. That's what I'm telling you. You could give us perspective.
I understand the sentiment.
Yes.
That goes with that.
Correct.
How our people
correct
suffered
and that is what I'm saying.
Understand.
Yes, that's all I'm saying.
But remember, we were you and I lived in the States, but
Right.
they have 1.4 million people in Trinidad and Tobago who many of them live in the States. So come on, we can't be so narrow-minded. We can't be so
No, I don't think it's
narrow in
being
our
narrow-minded.
perspective
Is
and
that?
mind.
But that's not narrow-minded too, but that's a global perspective because we are giving you a perspective outside of Trinidad and Tobago, and it's a global perspective. But Senator Naked,
No, I appreciate it. Brother, I appreciate it. As I said before, I agree with capital punishment here in Trinidad and Tobago. But I do not agree with it one bit in America because I've seen how they have discriminated and how they have persecuted and oppressed our people under the capital punishment laws, which is almost like 10-1 in some states. So I am very aware of what you're saying, brother, but we have to keep everything with the relevance and in context.
Senator Naked, it's always a pleasure that you pick up the phone all the time that we call you, and we appreciate you and we respect your time. Thank you very kindly.
Thank you very much, President Naked.
Right, take care. Bye-bye.
Take care.
But they got somebody in the chat upon you, boy. Oh,
What is it?
somebody named Picos.
You don't like Senator Naked?
No, you're upon you, boy. Woo.
Racist answer. I'm talking about Kamala. Put Trinidad on its knees. But Raleigh Rowley should be the only pick to talk about that. Nah. No, because used to be here before. But I think he drinks some passion fruit. He drinks some passion fruit juice and he come back.
But listen, Answer. In your discussions about this,
wait, 1 minute. Because let me tell you something. If you do not apologize for calling me a jackass, you will be no longer. My grandmother always told me, growing up in Chumaka, Clavantel, it takes a jackass to know a jackass. So, Picos, welcome to the Jackass Club. Okay? Go ahead.
Yeah, anyway, so in your discussions, you all made a statement about duty to retreat.
Yeah, that's the law. That's the law.
So wait, so I want to explain it to me. So somebody break in my house, I here alone, I have to retreat from that person. I have a duty to retreat from them, or they?
It says duty to retreat from a threatening situation if you can do so with complete safety. If you can retreat from the situation with complete safety, you have a duty to retreat.
If who? The person who get invaded on, or the person who break into people's house?
No. This is not in your house. The CASA doctrine talks about your house.
Right.
And people are changing. Stand your ground. There's no duty to retreat from a situation before resorting to deadly force. It's not limited to your home, place, or workplace. Stand your ground is not limited to your home. In your doctrine, in your home, you have no duty to retreat. A man come in and you do whatever you have to do, you can fix him up.
Okay, that's why I thought I was getting it where they come, I gotta run and hide now. Well, you break in my house, I have a bucket. I don't live in that kind of situation. I will have a bucket of acid waiting for your tail somewhere where I can get to it. You understand what I'm saying? Right? So
whatever it is, cancel Christmas. That's why the CASA is very specific. And that's why I'm saying that. On stand your ground, there's no duty to retreat.
Okay.
You see, so if I feel I'm threatened, I say, all right, boy, that fella, I feel like I'm under threat. I could do what I have to do. The other thing is that, and this is important, right? You have to understand that in this country, there are 7 states.
Because you know why? Answer them, not possibly. That stand your ground thing can go both ways in Trinidad and Tobago. One race can see the other. Yeah, you coming at me, and eye for eye thing can go on. You're absolutely right.
Exactly, and that's why I said I use Aranguez, but you could also use Lavantil the other way.
Yeah.
You understand? If I see somebody walk by and you forget and you go by again and you come back again. Right? And I see you pass back 3 times. I could say, boy, look now, boy, that look kind of suspicious. And I could stand the ground. You understand? That's why a lot of people, a lot of states in this country have modified stand your ground. Right? Let's do this. For example, Illinois in 2013, Illinois passed House Bill 438, which modified the state stand your ground law to require people who use deadly force in self-defense to have reasonable belief that they are in imminent danger or serious bodily harm, and they cannot safely retreat from the situation. Before stand your ground there says, you know, man, what man, that fella look like a tread boy. Or you reach into his pocket. You understand? Or he had a phone in his hand, blow him away. You understand? So that's why I'm saying that they should not name that. If they want to bring that to Parliament, no stand your ground. Call it something else. You understand? Call it something else. And,
because they'll take it and they will translate it to mean, you know, I felt threatened, and that's exactly what George Zimmerman said, right?
Yeah,
I felt threatened, and da 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 da. So
exactly what he said. You know.
I live alone. I will defend myself at all costs in my home. At all costs, I'm Slim. I ain't studying no stand your ground, no castle, nobody. I studying my life. What you doing in here? You either coming to kill me, rape me, rob me. You're coming to do something wrong because you're not invited. You don't live here.
So that means that you can defend your castle at all costs.
At all costs. Yep. I thought that is what you all were arguing about. So
no.
I had a duty to retreat.
No. Once you come in, cancel Christmas. It's over. Nadia, Pizza, Ken John, if you're still there, Margaret, if you're still there, Mean Jean, if you're still there, I don't see Rose tonight. Lana, if you're still there, put closing comments in the chat. Rennie Mohammed, Hailey, put closing comments in the chat. You see, Diana, what it is, Diana, is that when the opposition leader just came out and put, to me, I think she was using the spaghetti theory, yeah?
I felt it to see which one will stick.
See what will stick. Straight up on the wall and see what will stick. And when you realize there's a lot of flack now with regard to stand your ground, you know, mean to say that when you put that on the table, you have to at least tell people, well, listen, we know there's a stand your ground law in the United States of America. However, we are not going to follow that same premise of that law, right? We are going to modify that law in order for us here in Trinidad and Tobago. And not that, but we're not going to call it that. Maybe we'll use the Casa Doctrine or the retreat law, you know? Something like that to make it, you know, because then people can go and do research and say, all right, boy, these 7 states have changed stand your ground law. They changed the name too, you know. They changed the name too.
But didn't Wade Hicks tell us that there has been a self-defense law in Trinidad?
Yes, absolutely. You told me we were supposed to play that and play David Marvin, but we go get that. Make sure we get that on Saturday.
Yeah, sure.
Listen, in 2015, Delaware passed House Bill 10, which repealed the state stand your ground law and replaced it with a duty to retreat law.
You are listening to WZYE LP 95.9 FM, Maplewood, New Jersey, broadcasting.
So all I'm saying is if states in this country is repealing and modifying stand your ground law, right? What you have to do is you can't bring those, you could bring duty to retreat. And who knows, maybe duty to retreat is already on the books in Trinidad and Tobago. Maybe the Casa Doctrine is already on the books, but it's called something different. All right? Let's go for a quick station identification. It's in the village with the DAT Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. Stick and stay. We'll be right back after this message. Stick and stay. We'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. Don't touch your dial.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM.
This thing called PNM, this thing called UNC, is one set of dotishness to Mama Kai, you and me. It ain't have no color, It ain't have no race. It ain't have no principles or any values in place. And it was never meant to be the answer for unity. It shares no philosophy with any consistency. For when you watch the pedigree in each and every party, the difference you see turns out to be a case of power and money. Look here, them French Creoles in Saint-As, Maraval and Saint Clair, they don't hold no allegiance or no party here. Rich men must be supporting who they feel going to win. Loyalty, friends, means nothing. Money is getting. That's why PNM Quaiton turned court to UNC. And when Del Motley, his background showed he was with DAC. Hector Motley, the speaker, swore PNM till he dead. And when the last election over, he was UNC instead. Augustus Ramreka Singh, I knew him in Tapia. Next thing I know, he was a PNM minister. John Humphrey changed from Trinity and he joined about 5 parties. So he's only die-hard new and grassroots me. It's PNM and UNC.
We are back with you in the village with the DAT Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. We come to you every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. That's Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. You see what we're just saying, right? When we have people like Picos and them, right, come in, and at least, try and be a little respectful now, man. You come in and you want to call people names. And you see, we have to stop encouraging that type of behavior.
Because you have a variance in opinions.
Yeah, we have varied opinions. Yeah, we have varied opinions, but you want to come in and just calling people names. You don't even know me, but why is this racist answer? How could a black person be a racist? Am I missing something? Why is this racist answer talking about Kamala? Listen to this, right? But listen to this, we called a UNC senator on the phone, and I know Picos had to be a UNC, right? Why is this racist answer talking about Kamala? Rottweiler Rowley brought Trinidad to his knees. Rottweiler Rowley should be the only pick to talk about.
Lord.
And listen. So what? So what? Does that mean his son is not going to come up tomorrow?
And that is why Trinidad is where they are right now.
That's people like Picos and them. That's why we are where we are in Trinidad and Tobago. He calling me a racist.
You're allowed to have a variance of opinions, right? And it does not have to delve into these negative stereotyping of people.
Yeah.
A variance of opinion makes life interesting.
Yeah. Because let me just tell you, it takes a racist. Growing up in Chumaka, Clavantown, my grandmother always told me it takes a racist to know a racist.
One.
So welcome to the club, my brother.
Ignorance.
Why? Sometimes they say as a code, they said if you think education is expensive, try ignorance.
Ignorance is exorbitant.
Yeah, I mean, we have people from all different backgrounds and parties in here. We don't call people names in here.
No.
We don't call people names. We don't disrespect people in here. Go on
let me correct you. Fitzgerald Hines say you call him names. Okay, good.
No, but I didn't call Fitzgerald Hines' name on WZYE. We don't call people names in here. You know what I mean?
Well, you call him Phil Gerald Hines on air.
I did.
He coming Phil for that.
Oh, but I haven't called him in a long time though.
You say he's an abysmal failure and all that. He coming Phil when he answer that phone,
Okay, I send him that message tomorrow.
You want him alone on that interview, not me, Okay. I want my ID card, not me. Huh?
So why are you backing out of the
You on your own.
Don't back on me, no. Don't back.
You on your own.
What Fitzgerald's boy? We get finally get Fitzgerald's in the village, boy. Tommy, closing comment.
You know, I always say never look down on a man unless you're giving him a hand, man or woman, unless you're giving them a hand to pick them up. As I always say, love is always the key to life. Hate kills. Again, it's been a pleasure being in the village. Sorry I wasn't here last Tuesday, but hopefully I've made up for it by being here today. Look forward to our next session. Till then, be safe. Love you all.
Thank you, Tom. And my closing comment is, keep walking through the storm. Your rainbow is waiting on the other side. From where I sit, this is it. The clock on the wall, so that's all I like to say, but I've got to go. Remember, hard work beats talent, and talent does not work hard. For every 60 seconds of anger, you lose 1 minute of happiness. See you. Same WZYE time, same WZYE channel. Later. And I want to guess, Gil.
I don't know. Yeah, somebody probably tell him don't come because them is your people, eh? So.
Anna, you went into my brain, Gil.
Somebody tell him don't come. Them is your people.
I asked you before, I asked
him, and he responded, "Not a problem, not a problem."
No, well, maybe something went wrong with his phone or something.
Yeah, maybe something went wrong. Yeah. But
closing comments.
Well, Nadia said, Diana Bensky, you like ting, eh? Yeah, girl. Well, I want to say, we just can't go on this way. That's all I'm going to say tonight. We just can't go on this way. Something got to give. You're kidnapping citizens and bringing them from one country to the next. You see where we going? How we circling a drain? And where this drain gonna lead us? I don't know. But we can't go on this way. Good night, everybody.
Thanks, Diana.
Good night, Diana.
Yeah, I think we will go to that song too. Judy says, Judy, it's rough out there, Nadia, darling. Sweet dreams. Okay, I didn't see Joan tonight. I didn't see Carice. Nadia says, good night. Judy, love, be safe. All right, let me see what this closing comment. Nadia, closing comments are, I want to thank God for life, day and night. Blessed night to everyone. Stay safe. Yeah. Full 100.
And so I'm not thinking. I put a thing in the chat for some votes for me for something I've been nominated for. We'll do it on Saturday.
Yeah, we go straight in the WhatsApp group.
Okay.
Margaret says, Tanya Gonglo does not belong in TT. We'll need emotional maturity.
Mm-hmm.
For that, because history has shown that our weapons of choice is a cutlass. Okay.
Who was that?
Margaret new to the village. Welcome, Margaret.
Margaret says that the weapon of choice is a cutlass. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, the weapon of choice is a cutlass.
Wait.
Closing comments. Well, I was hoping to stand my ground on the show, but the show is coming to an end.
He was gonna stand his ground. Ain't nobody trying to bother Eugene. Who stand his ground and do what?
Yeah, I don't know. Eugene all of a sudden want to be a poet now.
What ground Eugene want to stand on, please?
That man did something that we don't know. However, that's not adoption, it's an arrest. Okay. Rennie Mama says, live, love, laugh, ingredients to long life.
You see what he said? He will vote for me if I put on.
Closing comments. Lady says, want to have good health, start talking magnesium or have magnesium bath with magnesium flakes. Yeah, I do take magnesium. Correct is right.
Yep.
You see where Rennie put, right? Yes, yeah.
No, that's at the end. I'll go back to it. Margaret, we need constitution reform. Our laws does not cover the citizen needs. Amendment will not work. And overall of our constitution is needed. We need to get off the colonial laws. Full 100, Margaret. Full 100. Tommy says, Nadia says, Tommy, blessed night to you. I don't know. Capisa says, Diana, alkaline bladder than acid. I don't know about that. I don't know.
Nadia asked about Stormy earlier. I conveniently ignore her. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You know long. Good night, Margaret. No long when you trying to get you that to put on that black leather suit.
He said he will vote for me if I put on the black leather.
Yeah, come on now, Diana. Man. The man gonna run for office. So folks, it's always a pleasure. We're gonna go out, we just can't go on this way. Blessed night, everyone. See you, take care. Same WZYE time, same WZYL channel later. You can't go on this way.
Is Pharaoh still existing? As he be born, resembling an Israelite, not being treated right, enslaved day and night. No, we just can't go on this way. We just can't go on this way. Please deliver us today. We just can't go on this way. We like the Israelites still in pain. We just can't go on this way. So send us another Moses again. We just can't go on this way. Oh, 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 oh. Lord, look around, you'll see the Pharaoh mentality ruling universally. Leaders promoting their ego, being a modern Pharaoh, tyrannies they manifest. We just can't go on this way. We just can't go on this way. Please deliver us today. We just can't go on this way. Time to make them oppressors pay. We just can't go on this way. So we children could see their way. We just can't go on this way. Oh, 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 oh. No, 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 no. The poor have to slave night and day for next to nothing pay, so they can't see the way. We don't enjoy equal facility like Pharaoh and company. Brainwashing we say we free. We just can't go on this way. We just can't go on this way. Please deliver us today. We just can't go on this way. Time to make them oppressors pay. We just can't go on this way. So the children could see their way. We just can't go on this way. Oh, 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 oh.
trust. That's why I say, Lord,